take you home, but tell the truth, you'll spend the night alone. Let's be alone. So why don't we stay out to the morning light? 'Cause two wrongs can make a right. We're just doing what we feeling right now. So what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get. So what the hell? What the hell are you waiting so for? What the hell? So what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get. So what the hell? What the hell? So what the hell?
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. It's crazy.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Frost Esports. It's Thursday night, so it's our weekly Valorant tournament. My name is Llama77. Joining the cast and booth today, it is the one and only Mr. Happy. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic. First time on a Frost broadcast in a while, and who but Llama to be here with as well, the Frost man himself, on every single broadcast I feel like I see around Twitter and all that, we're making the rounds. But we're back with Valorant tonight, and we have a couple of very solid series coming up as we conclude our nice little one-day Valorant tournament. And this one was a pretty packed one, I think with close to 32 teams, one of the more packed Valorant tournaments we've seen. So, set to be some of the best Valorant action you have ever seen here on the Frost Esports channel.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We had a lot of really good teams, and a lot of the teams have already played, right? We didn't play every single game on stream. We're going to be focused on the last two kind of series of the night. We're going to be starting in the semifinals with a best of one matchup. I'm excited. I mean, we got MimicGG back, a team that has been, really rampaging through these week after week. So it's going to be exciting, but we're already getting into agent select here, and we're going to Ascent.
Going to Ascent, and already a couple of agent selections already. Relatively similar across both teams, as nobody deviating too far from the norm. Sova picked up on the right side, and KO on the left, but other than that, that's the only real difference. And if they lock a Sova as their last operator, well, then they will have the exact same compositions, which, well, it's nice to see that Valorant is getting very, very stabilized towards most levels of the game, and it does look like we will be seeing that Sova hovered and finished off there again. So Ascent, with the exact same compositions on both sides, and mirror team banners as well. I love this synergy. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing today. The only thing that's off about this screen right here is that Best Buy and Clay are swapped compared to Chai and Karuto on the other side. Like Sova and Omen being in different spots it's like the only thing that's not symmetrical. It's such a satisfying image to look at.
Yeah, would have been nice if they could have swapped spots, but nonetheless, like you said, they're kind of sticking towards what has been the meta on this map. They're sticking towards it, and I'm excited. I think the biggest thing we talk about with this mirrored composition is the KJ. That's the most important. All it feels like that lockdown. When one team has it and the other doesn't, it feels like there's a huge disparity between the two. So I'm excited. It's gonna come down to execution though, because again, they run the exact same thing. You got no other tools that the other team has, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. So this is going to be the better team wins this game. You can't say, oh, well, this util caught us off guard, Well, maybe you could say, oh, we started off on a bad side, but you're really kind of pushing it with the excuses there if you're saying that one. This is the better team winning this game. Nobody's coming into it with anything too out of the ordinary, which is exactly what it's not what you want to see in terms of wanting to see like a really interesting, fun, exciting matchup necessarily, but it is very good for determining what team is just going to be the better of the two and just determining who's going to do better. And they're going to rush straight into the A site already, SPPG.
They're rushing on in here. Looks like they're going to close the door as well. A kill there by Germ is going to be nice to take the KJ off of the field and give themselves a little bit of a player advantage on the defense, rather. But that spike is already down. Like you talked about, they are running in here very, very quickly. And again, it's pistol round. You guys got no real other things than these pistols to work with. So walking through the door, Kip and company got to be a little bit careful of this smoke. Watching their angles, some blinds come through. 16 health on this KJ, somehow surviving, but a bloodbath, a 2v2 to follow.
Last player standing.
And then the last two come through. Beautiful kill from Karuto as well. Closes things out and makes it a first round for SPPG, as close an early round as you will come across. But it goes the way of the red side to start with, is SPPG with a phenomenal attack in the A site, and they were able to catch every single defender elsewhere, not there. So kind of not catching anybody, but in that same exact time being able to catch them off guard with that timing, as it was a very aggressive play made towards the B site by the defense, but the attack chooses to go to the A site instead. Very solid selection of them, and that ends up working out.
Ends up working out. Very close, though, like you said. Only one living
yeah.
at the end of it. Nonetheless, SPG, they'll walk into their bonus round here. They'll have a little bit extra funds to put into these SMGs, but the gamble stack not working into the first round. We'll see if it goes into fruition this time. It looks like 3 stacked up, a little bit more towards A, so a little bit more pressure. The KJ obviously has a little bit more utility, so putting them towards B is smart as well. Germ, though, is sitting in kind of a nice angle with a shorty.
He's got a really nice angle. Just waiting for somebody to make the mistake of walking up. And this is kind of have to play these eco rounds. If you don't really have many guns, you've got to try and catch the other team off guard. Unfortunately, though, they haven't been able to do just that just yet. As 2 kills in a row early for SPPG, about to make it 3. Jing almost able to catch somebody moving in, but it's Feng, the one to get him. And so, as the other 2 defenders make their way over from the opposite side, it's likely to be a bloodbath, and it's not likely for any kills to go their way. As SPPG 1 kill away from making this a flawless, a dominant showing in round number 2, but next round, they're going to have to play into the guns, so it's going to be much more difficult.
Right, and usually as the side that lose the first round, you want to take at least some of those SMGs away, but SPG looking to walk into a flawless round. Kip is looking for the sheriff shot, will hit 1 headshot, but Velo will pick up the final kill, will pick up a triple as well, and I just gotta say, really good utility layering there. They were kind of expecting the player, like you said, to play some of those close angles. They can only buy really, pistol shorties, whatever you have, so, but now, like you said, it's rifles that they're going to have. This is really the true test for SPG. If their, lesser weaponry can stack up.
Still, plenty of opportunities left to go, and now Test really are going to get an opportunity to get back into this game, because they haven't done too much just yet, but that's normally how it goes, right? You lose that pistol round, you lose the follow-up round as well. It's very tough to then find your way back into it. So they're finally going to get a chance here because they have good guns, and now it's SPPG who aren't going to have many guns, because pretty much everybody lived last round with those relatively weak guns compared to what's on the defensive side now, and so they're not going to have too much to fight with, and this should be around for Test. If they're able to pull this one back, it still looks pretty solid for them. If they lose this, though, then that's SPG with a phenomenal start to this game and a dominant showing already through the first 3, showing that we can have worse guns and still beat you.
And we talk about it, it's also a best of one. No second chances in this series, so important to get out early. Right now, though, a couple of fast rounds. The first two. How about this fast push from Velo right into tree, rotating as well. Looking for these kills, making sure they can layer the utility. Germ, though, is able to pick up not 2, but 3, but 4 there on the rotate in. It's one little lonely Omen right in mid. And I think this is going to be a round lost. They got your number, and Kip has got the kill.
Exactly what we needed to see from Test. They're finally able to get guns on the board, and they finally get a round on the board in the process. Really solid round from them, just winning straight up gunfights, and a 4K as well from the Omen. You couldn't ask much more than that other than an ace, and honestly, you were asking for far too much if you were asking an ace out of one of your players, but you're never asking for too much when you've got a beautiful defensive setup like that as Best Buy, with a really solid, just a general solid defense overall. And a 2-1 start.
Really good 2-1 start. I also got to say, getting those kills on your Jet onto Germ, getting that ultimate already ready, those knives can be a game changer. They're actually already going to be utilized here. So Test, they want to go aggressive and possibly cut down the economy of SPG even more here. Velo, though, are going to get set up here. Play a little bit slower. Again, like we talked about, they played super fast in those first 2 rounds. Took a lot of space, but now with these, possible lesser economical value, they just want to slow it down, get as much information as they can.
Yeah, and it's very clear they're trying to stack these objectives to make up for their lack of guns. Make sure that what you have is centered towards one objective, because they don't really have anybody on B itself. A couple towards market, who are now going to move out of the door. I wanted to say garage door because it's structured like that, but it's not a garage door. That's on the other side of the map. But still, they're actually going to now start to play a little bit further up main and Kip, making sure to take close gunfights, because with a Stinger, you can't always trust it at range. Might be able to burst down just 1 or 2 in the process, but is going to have to do a lot of work here because his teammate's gone down. Really good start with that, with the Bulldog. Gets the second headshot as well. But SPPG are able to trade him out eventually, and they might be able to get into the B site relatively cleanly. Good kill there for Feng, and now it's open for business as only 2 defenders to deal with left, and they're not in the site itself.
They are going to get this plant down, or at least should be. Germ has got a classic here, and again, already used those knives. Will be able to pick up the Vandal on the rotate on in, but they're just, again, playing these close angles. They have one left, it looks like, in that main area, but yeah, Karuto is going to stick down the boathouse. Best Buy employee will equalize out the numbers, still making it a 2v2. Again, low HP bars on both sides. Karuto able to take down the Jet. Germ is done and dusted, but a 1v1 won by the Omen. Beautiful stuff.
Great round from Caruso. Just playing trades perfectly, and that's exactly why that back B side is such a strong position, because it's so hard to deal with as a defender, and if you ever put your focus on anywhere that is not those 2 doorways, or the correct of those 2 doorways, which is a completely different problem in and of itself, that there are 2 doorways to deal with, not just one, but you saw exactly what happened. Taking the focus off of the doorway, and then Karuto punishes as a result, swings out wide, and you couldn't get an easier kill than that against such high-level competition, because not looking the right way. That is as free as they will come, again, playing against such quality teams like these 2 squads. A team like Test and a team like SPPG isn't going to give you many easy opportunities, and there, though, we see an early opportunity for a trade, taken advantage of by both teams, and now we're in a 4-on-4.
They tried to run through main and encountered a little bit of presence there, so trades nonetheless 1-for-1. Importantly, the KJ down on one side, on the other side is the KO, but there is still three ultimates here for SPG if they do want to use them. Again, no ultimates on the other side, equal weaponry going into this round, so they back up, play a little bit slower here, get back to that default setup as they are stacking once again towards this main route. But I mean, there is still, the players still have to split from Test because they still don't know exactly where they're going, but I think they're going to know pretty soon.
Very clear indications coming through. Unlucky timing on that jump peek from Clay. Could have caught the Jet early, but instead now, very far pushed up is the Jet. Not going to be able to do a thing about it, but eventually Vito taken down, but that's 2 in a row from Feng, getting a very solid site presence for SPPG, and once again, a 2v3 retake necessitated for Test if they need to get back into this site soon, because it's not going to be easy to make your way back in with the positions the defenders have, as we saw a similar situation last round, and it didn't go so well for the defense.
Similar situation. Boathouse gonna look good once again for Karuto here. Now just one KJ Kip. Gonna try and swing around. Kip has at least one there, but again, which 50 are you gonna take? Which Boathouse angle are you gonna look towards? Not the right one there. Beautiful stuff again. The Boathouse hold here as B really being successful from SPG on this offense.
Whatever kind of resistance Test are putting into the B site, it's consistently not enough to deal with just the ability to trade by this attacking side. They're able to consistently trade out any frags that happen. And even though they're working through just one checkpoint B main, they're not even trying to go to mid. They're just going through the choke point that is that B main doorway. And they're consistently able to trade, even though that angle favors the defense so strongly. They're able to make it 3-on-3s, and the remaining defenders for Test aren't in good enough positions to actually get back into the site, and that means free post plants, because holding that site itself is so easy, but a quick rush into the A site, it starts relatively well for SPG, as Best Buy employee caught out fast.
Yeah, they have the weaponry. They just force this position with all of their pressure. Kip, though, the Sheriff will take down two. Again, the superior weaponry going to pop out. The flash as well. A 2v2 on a kind of half eco round has got to feel good for Test, but super low HP bars, I got to say, on both of their players. How do they decide to continue to push this? Again, Spike still not down at this point. It's actually down on the ground in somewhat of an awkward spot on that A side. There are, two different rotating players. It looks like both players of SVG, they're going to leave each other.
Yeah, and they still have the Omen, has an ulti up as well. They're going to rotate to the other side, use that Omen ult to retrieve the bomb, and then plant it on the B side. Exactly what you see happening there. They cancel it, but Jing might be rotating back to B soon enough to shut down the spike plant. He's almost here. He's around the corner. The Stinger is good enough to get a kill at that range, and that's going to be a problem, because it's only TK alone. Has to work his way back in for main, and Germ gets a really solid headshot to close out that round in favor of the defense. The push into A not nearly as successful as the B plays have been thus far, and a very good job, especially by Kip and everybody who made a play in from Flowers to try and play in from Tree rather, to catch the players on the A site off guard, and that is exactly what they did. The element of surprise worked perfectly, shutting down a spike plant, shutting down a push in, and winning the round afterwards in the 2-on-2.
Yeah, Kip's Sheriff going crazy there as well. Lovely to see on, not full buying there. It is also the Omen ult invested, like you mentioned. Still 3 of them. The KJ ult, an important one we talked about to watch. The lockdown is available for Test and not available for SPG. They are going to invest the Blade Storm here right at the start of the round. Again, I don't think Jet fully invested on the weaponry. Yeah, only a classic in the inventory. So looking to get as much value as possible with these 5 knives. It looks like slower. I like this from SVG. They tried to go fast last time. It didn't work, but they're going fast this time. They're counteracting, whatever I can say. And Velo is counteracting Kip with the knives.
How dare you say you want them to go slow? They are offended by the mere thought that they could ever not go as fast as possible. Best Buy actually going to catch 2 of them off as they get into A eventually. This time, though, they will be able to plant the spike on the A side. So already looking better than the last A push they had. Attacker Killjoy out as well, so that's going to prompt the defenders to go fast, but a defense Killjoy out around the same time. Attack Killjoy not taken off of the board yet. A couple players going down. It's only left to Chai alone in hell. 2 to deal with. Recon dart out. Now they know where to expect him because he shot it out, and he's been shot out in kind. Clay with a really nice kill. And another round goes to the defense. That makes it their first ever streak as they're able to hop onto 2 rounds in a row and almost bring this back to even.
And I gotta say, from Test, a really good retake. They used that Hunter's Fury to kind of clear out everything above heaven, and then, like you said, just layering in the utility, seeing that you shoot the shock dart out, and then can drop down and retake and defuse that spike. Lovely stuff, like you said, back-to-back rounds now for Test, and it is going to be shambles in the economy for SPG. I also gotta mention Operator from Germ on the board.
Oh yeah, the ops up. On a map like Ascent, that is scary. That is very scary. You put an op in the hands of Germ, specifically in the hands of Germ, who's 8-4 already. And that's a really scary prospect for the other side. Fortunately for them, though, they're pushing into a site where the ops not always able to thrive so much. And, someone who definitely wasn't able to thrive in that scenario was Kip, taken down right quick off of the entry. Karuto goes down next, but SPPG at least able to make it even. They're coming into this round with a significant disadvantage in terms of guns, so happy with that start, but now that they've lost that element of surprise, what can they do here? They're splitting back up, more of a default approach it would seem, trying to find any kind of opening, and then they'll send all of the King's horses and all of the King's men to take that site for themselves.
I'm also interested to see, I mean, they do have the lone ultimate that Hunter's Fury can give you some space, but, you know, if you don't have anything to back it up and not the greatest usage, you might want to keep that to pair with something else. Right now, the Best Buy employee doing their employee job, sitting, watching, waiting to see if anyone rotates in to buy some DVDs here in the A site. We'll see, though. Putting some blinds out. Feng will be able to hit the Sheriff shot. 1-2 with the rifle. Chai, the Sheriffs, the pistols are hitting this round. I mean, we'll lose one more on the other side, so it's going to be a 1v2. You got the spike down, and Clay is rotating in so quickly. This owl drone definitely going to see your position. With that shock dart, we'll just swing around the corner. Nice and easy. Really good retake from Test.
The ability to actually shoot the drone dart there and get that position, it went from, you know, possibly clutch situation if he gets good 1v1s to you're not winning that. Like, you're just not winning that. Swing from heaven, not enough time, not enough ability to look in the right directions. And generally, it was a good start to that round, but you can see the way they became so timid as PPG. They got so scared, they knew they had the worst guns, and they were very afraid of pushing into a site after losing one player in the nature of the way they did. And that's something we've seen the defensive side struggle with plenty of times. Test have been losing that B site because it's been very good trades from SPPG, but I like seeing that last round. They're able to put up a fight instantly inside of B main, not forfeit that control to the other team immediately, and you can see the effect it has on SPG. They fall back, they're not sure what they want to do, they're very uncertain of their next moves, and all because we saw more resistance faced in the actual B main area itself.
Faced a lot of resistance, rather. They did take 3 kills. I mean, on a semi-eco round does feel somewhat good to chip away the economy just a little bit, but gonna have to chip away it a little bit more because, again, that operator is still up this round as well. Kuruto just gonna be, again, like you said, just playing it slower. Those fast plays not really working out for them, so trying to get back in again, just give themselves the information. It is a gamble stack towards A, though. 4 players of Test sitting over here, so SPG, they could make the right decision if they clear out and, you know, look for all this information. I think they're gonna go.
They're going to run straight into the B site. Best Buy rotating over, playing now inside of Boathouse. We've seen it used so well by the attackers in their retake preventions, but Best Buy employee not going to have nearly as much good fortune in the back. A double kill for Velo, a great entry for the attack, and although there are good attempts to fight back from the defense, it would seem to be all in vain. Any kills they found have been traded, and now it's only Germ. Operator in a 1-on-3 isn't always easy. Makes it a 1-on-2, now has the knives out to possibly make this easier. Kuruto, though, coming from the opposite side. Doubt he'll be expected. Germ looking the complete opposite direction than where he needs to look, and Kuruto will waste no time. First shot is a headshot. No counterplay to that one. Germ just gotta look somewhere else in that instance because there's no other way you're dealing with Kuruto. A solid round for SPPG.
Yeah, really good job. Like you said, hard for Germ there. With an operator, it is hard at those points to make that 1v3 clutch. But nonetheless, you know, that was kind of weird. I would have to say, Test, they were kind of sniffing out something towards A. Put more players there, and then didn't end up working out. Couldn't really find a way to get real control back. So, good stuff from SPG. I got to say, both these teams, when we talk about it, semifinals here, really keeping it close. That lockdown, though, is on board once more. So, for Test, again, that is so much control that you can get back for yourself. And Chai is going to control Germ there. How about 2 kills out through mid?
Great start to the round by Chai. Coming into a round where you have a lot of distinct advantages, just kind of taking care of business. Kuruto able to pitch in as well. It's only left to Kip. You know, 1-on-4 with a Sheriff. We've seen Kip do some good things with a Sheriff earlier, but unfortunately, not enough good things done to make sure TK's round is done, as TK will end his round. KJ on KJ goes the way of the attacking side, and the round 2 goes to the attack. 6 rounds secured already. Will there be a concerned effort and an effort to make the comeback happen, possibly land us at 6-6 when we enter halftime, or will SPPG continue to stay 1 round at the better?
Well, I gotta say, if Test lose this round, they have no funds. Like, look at the money. 300, 200, 300. Like, they're going in with, like, SMGs into that final round before the half if they lose this one. So it's probably a must-win if they want to keep that 6-6 score line alive for themselves. Velo dashing into their own smoke here as they have, again, so much pressure. Clay is going to hide out in the boathouse, but get immediately taken down. Kip has a couple kills. The res is still available, though, for them. Kip looking so much pressure and so much stall time. A triple kill as the reinforcements walk in. It's beautiful. 2 players live and Test get to 5.
That is exactly the kind of resistance you need to see on that B site for things to change, and things have been changing lately. The defense has won 4 of the last 6 rounds compared to losing 4 of the first 5, and in those first 5 rounds, we saw the B site consistently taken advantage of. But now it's not open for business for the attack anymore. Shut down immediately, and Kip just with an insanely solid hero play to be the one to shut down any push into B. That kind of precedent being set around going that resoundingly poorly for the attack is going to mean that you really don't want to go to B here. So you can at least safely assume there will be some kind of default. You won't have to deal with aggressive plays B. Matter of fact, the only aggressive plays B this round are coming from the defense.
Coming on in. Velo, though, reaches them through the smoke, takes 2 kills right off of the start of the round. Beautiful. Again, this is last round before the swap, so those ultimates, you use them or you're gonna lose them. Clay gonna make sure Velo, those knives aren't gonna be carried in towards the next round. Lockdowns still up and available. Here's that defender gonna use the first. Kip and TK both gonna get some trades out here as another ultimate goes down. The double bubble of trouble here. A 2v1. It's just the Sova to try and clutch up everything.
Sova alone against the world. Clay shucks in a recon bolt, but he's been spotted out as well. And that's not going to make things very easy. TK with the final kill. And a 7-5 advantage as coming out of your attack side. Moving to the defense on Ascent. Could be good, could be bad, yet to be seen. But if it's anything like the defensive side we saw from Test, we are going to need to see a lot of adjustments toward that B site so they don't lose early rounds, because eventually the defense was able to recover, get some solid round wins in there, but it was just those 4 of the first 5 rounds being lost that made it really tough for them to get a defensive round consistently going and to get a good defensive half. So win a pistol here, get off on the right track, get started on a very good note, and you could be looking at a relatively clean Ascent victory if Test don't necessarily have it on the attacking side.
Could be relatively clean and easy, but relatively close at that halfway marker here. So for both teams and same composition will have to work here. Germ sees a dash out there. Velo able to really go aggressive there into the fountain area, taking that first kill. But that means the go button, the green light here from SPG. They say, you know, you invested towards mid, you probably got no players towards A. So they're going to try and get control as fast as they can.
And they're exactly right in that assumption. They can move into the site, get a spike plant down, and it'll be hard to hold out in the retake, that's for sure, because look at all that presence towards Garage. Almost about to come out. 1 kill from Germ, another from Jing, but trades back from Chai as it consistently remains at the advantage of the defenders. Jing with 1 more, though. Still fighting hard, taken down, though. It's only Best Spy versus Chai. And the headshot with the Sheriff more than good enough to take an 8th. As we start off the defensive side, in this case, with the defensive pistol round win, and SPG will continue to increase the advantage they hold as an 8-5 lead for them.
They increased it. I gotta say, that was a little bit of an awkward round, I'm not gonna lie. Like, everybody, it was like a 4v4, everybody looking at each other. But, you know, at the end of the day, SPG, they clutch it up. They will take that pistol win, now winning both pistols in this map, going on to the bonus round here. It looks like, actually, Test is going to invest a little bit heavy into this round, picking up some of those SMGs instead of, you know, the pistols or the shorties. But a Marshall is waiting on the other side if you're not careful, and 9 rounds for SPG is what they could get to. They're going here through A main. There will be some nades to try and delay him, but I don't think they can be delayed.
They don't seem to want to be, that's for sure. Running straight out of A main with a lot of stingers, and Feng can't see. That is an incredibly scary situation to think about being in. Probably even scarier for Feng, who actually had to live that reality and went down early because of it. Ran up on by every single member of the attacking side as they run straight into A, get a spike plant down, and now have an advantage in a post plant.
Not ready yet.
Slight advantage in a post play, and slight gun advantage, I would have to say, towards the other way. The Marshall not going to do the most damage, I feel like, unless you can hit some of those headshots, but we'll see if it can get done. That spike is going to start ticking. The time will start going. Smokes will kind of cut off their spawn area and towards that door. Trades back and forth as TK and Best Buy employee make it a 4v2. TK walking in, but it's all down to Velo. The lone jet, they're going for the knives here. They're going for the BM. That spike still ticking. They know you can't get the defuse. And Test, what a round there off the fast move.
Great response. They get a strategy and they stick to their guns that entire round. We're going to pick all stingers. We're going to run straight into the site. Didn't work last time when we had pistols and tried to play a little slower. So this round, we don't really have too many chances. If we go down 5-10, we can't let them get that round for free because it's looking really rough if we end up down that large. So we need to make sure that we're putting 110% into this round here. You win a couple more, then maybe you can afford to start taking some really big ecos if you aren't winning necessarily every round. But 5-10 is a scary scoreline, and that's what they're 5-9 rather would have been what they were staring down should they have lost that round. And not much getting started on the attack would have made that even worse. So they need to get around to the board, and they do just that with a very fun to watch little stinger play rush into the A site.
Beautiful job there to take the round. Risky one at that. Germ risking it all right through mid here. We'll see out Chai, who will back up just a little bit. They are going to smoke it off to probably give themselves, I would assume, protection through the market area, but they're backing up. They just wanted to gain the information. Karuta is not going to let you leave for free. Taking a kill with the classic. Again, SPG, they are in a pretty much full economy round, so Karuta will be able to pick up the Bulldog here. Kind of chill out, but will get found. Two players on either side. Kip able to take them down, and the ultimate orb as well in their pocket, and they got A control again.
Let me guess, another round where we have most of the players alive and a play onto the A site. It's the same thing we've been seeing the past few rounds, except this time a play into heaven goes incredibly well for the attackers, and they win it so much more quickly than they won any of the rounds prior to this. Phenomenal peek up into heaven with great flashbangs from Jing to assist in the plays, and even if not every kill was found on the swing itself, made enough of a dent in the defense that once they swung wide, you only had to land 1 or 2 shots, not even at the head, to get any one of the players that were up in heaven to, well, be sent to heaven as well. As another round for the attack, bring it again within 1 round of evening us back up. But we have consistently seen Test struggle when they're this close to taking the lead. They have had leads, I believe, before. Or no, they've had it tied. The best they've done is having it tied. Right. But every time they've been getting back into it, it's a good streak in a row for SPG. Can they make this one a little different? SPG certainly don't like to think so, as Karuto starts off with a kill on a Clay.
Yeah, beautiful catwalk play there. Just walks out, takes the first kill. Kip will get one right back. Velo, the jet, some smokes and some dashing ability going to be gone. Germ, their jet still up and living here. We'll pop the smoke down, but a nice little side angle from Feng through the tree area. We'll be able to see that one. So lovely stuff here. SPG, a player advantage, although, you know, again, they are on the defense, so still going to have to split the resources just a little bit. Also, lockdown up and available. Important to note, always tracking this ultimate for test. Might be Test in the usage of that one. Again, pretty equal as Karuto, really hard angle to break through here. Again, you can't really walk through catwalk unless you get the timing. Perfect.
Yeah. Kip with great timing gets that kill. Good trade out from Feng, but eventually Best Buy able to get the next one, but that traded out by TK as well. Could still pick up his final remaining teammate, but doesn't look like we'll see the res come out because nature of this retake, nature of these positions from SPG means that they could swing at any time, and 2 misplaced swarm grenades is going to make it so that Kip can't prevent the push forward through heaven. He's just got to wait for the swings now, trying to spray through the wall, can't get a plant down because he doesn't have enough health, doesn't have enough space, doesn't have enough time, and there isn't seemingly anything he's got enough of, and doesn't really have enough HP anymore to still have a chance at that round. Lowered to 0. And the chances of winning that round for the attack are lowered to 0 at the same exact time. Yet again, they get close to taking a lead. Test to do, but SPG are able to hold them off.
Hold him off really, really well. I feel like that whole round just came off of Karuto's angle there. First of all, getting the kill off a catwalk and then just backing up saying, what are you going to do? You can't walk forward. If you walk forward into sight, we have players in heaven. We have that angle still as well. So really good job to hold and stall the time, allow the teammates to pick up those kills. And now a 2-round advantage as they walk into this next one. It is going to be that Blade Storm already invested though from Test. They want to do some damage with those knives.
And they are so ready to do it. They're just waiting for the go button. Whoever the IGL is on Test is very much showing a lot of restraint as the attacker Killjoy pots, but they're not making any plays off of it. They're just hoping that it'll force the defenders out, but Karuto's right around the corner. Beautiful. Insomnia gets the kill, gets another. Best Buy and Clay are able to get one frag each, though, so the Killjoy is at least good enough to send everybody out of the site and make sure the defenders who are still on the site end up dying, but not nearly as advantageous a position as you were hoping to have. You get that spike plant down, but you've got to hold out in a 2-on-3, and the Jet's coming from the backside as well.
You're stuck. So stuck here. There is nowhere to go. Pincer attack is coming. TK will get the first. A trade right out. Clay making this possible. A 1v1 for TK here. That spike down and ticking. The timing could be played. Maybe sees a shoulder blade there. Doesn't know where to look. The 50-50 dropping down to the box and loses it. Clay with the triple kill. They looked like they were trapped, but they found a way out of it.
That first kill coming out for Best Buy employee was crucial. He gets that kill, traded by Killjoy, and then the flank play from Jet was not made in a way that so that it was actually there to backstab anybody on the site, because Clay was watching for it. So Clay gets that kill, and then that's an untradeable position for Velo coming back into that site. You can't make a trade on that position there because he's pushing out main. You can kill him easily, Clay can, without getting risk from heaven. And so you make it a 1-on-1, and from there, it's just a 50-50. It's exactly what you have to do in clutch situations. Give yourself 1v1s as best as you possibly can, and they do it perfectly. And now the attack trying to get straight into B. 2 early kills already from Test as they look to even it back out again.
And that was the only 2 players actually sitting over towards this B site, so they're going to have full presence and a 2-player advantage as they go forward. That Blade Storm is being used from Velo here to maybe try and pick up some kills. Headshots would be nice. Dashing doubly up into the air, but gets literally nothing. Flawless round from Test. They will tie up the scoreline.
Flawless from Test. Insanely good from Test. How on earth did they manage to pull that one out? Just so many straight kills out of a situation where you had a great round in the last one. It would seem that clutch has revitalized this team and given them the energy they need to get back into this game, because we're seeing consistently solid buys from both teams, and Test have won a good chunk of these last few rounds. They're on 4 of the last 5. Does that sound familiar? 4 of the last 5 to start off a half. It's exactly what the other team was able to do to them last half. And now we see SPG having it done to them this time, and Velo not able to get the early kill. It's been a rough past few, and it'll only get better, it would seem, for Test.
This is such a PowerPoint, right? You get market, now you have so much presence towards this B site that they're going to run at one again. Just how long can Chai stand on this site? We'll pick up a kill. TK will get one as well, but some really good trades coming out. So 3v2, and this Odin is going to take no prisoners here. Shooting through the walls, making sure if you try to walk through market, you're going to take some stray bullets walking on through. Now, importantly, ultimate's up for KO. Could hit a big suppression. That would feel pretty nice, but nonetheless, Feng and company, they're going to walk on through. This Odin from Germ is waiting for them to walk on. That smoke will come. They'll just wait. They'll wait a second. Best Buy employee able to take that first kill as they don't really have the timing. 3 players, so many angles, and the boathouse again, so hard to deal with. Garuto will win the first duel. Kip gonna be lost out towards the ground, but Germ and company, they want to wait. The side angle, it's checked, but he doesn't shoot there. Germ will take the kill, and Test will be the first squad to get on double digits.
Honestly, I feel like you might want to save in that position. 1-on-3, at the very least, play for exits. He got one there, Karuto, but now they have nothing really to buy up with in this round. They can afford a couple of stingers, but the difference that one Vandal would be able to make in this round, honestly, you can't ever estimate how much of a difference one gun's going to make. Maybe they lose their first fight, maybe they get 4. But the chance of that happening without that fully automatic Vandal in the round, the best thing you have is a Spectre, which is, it's good, but like it's not nearly as good as the rifles, doesn't do nearly as much damage at range. It's relatively accurate, so if you can hit your headshots, then definitely go for it. But you're getting rushed on the A site and nobody ready enough for this push.
I would love to see a lockdown invested here, honestly, from SPG. Again, 1 ultimate invested the last of the 2 rounds, winning neither of them. Velo winning the trade here, though, with the SMG. Germ, though, trading right back onto Chai. They're looking for these rifle pickups, as it is going to be a defender killjoy. That lockdown coming out. Best Buy employee taking him down. Velo, though, has Test. They're separating. Germ picking up a triple again. They're just winning the duels here. Karuto, all they've got is a stinger and maybe some dreams here. Okay, take down Germ. Why don't you maybe pick up a little bit better weaponry? But this has to be a save, right?
He got him trying to teabag his teammate and said, "All right, I'm not going to take that level of disrespect."
Take that.
Yeah, no, it should be a save. It wasn't a save because I don't know. It seems that we just aren't watching a lot of players who are really prone to saving. I guess is 1-on-3. They're on the opposite side of the map. I feel like that's the quintessential save round if there ever was one, but. Fortunately, unlike last time we could have seen a save, they're not going to lose too much by not saving into this one. They are missing full armor on 2 people, which is significant because they're playing into mostly Phantoms, not Vandals. So, not having that full shield and only having that light shield is going to make a big difference. So, save could have possibly prevented that from being the case, and maybe that will make a little bit of a difference as we head into this round. But the real difference maker hasn't been stuff like, oh, the economy or having extra shields. It's just been every single fight going the way of Test. That's been what's been making the difference. We've seen 2 rounds in a row now, and many more rounds other than that, not consecutive, that have been flawless or close to that, because it's just been so solid from Test.
Yeah, also SPG lost that Killjoy ultimate last round, did not win the round as well. 3 rounds in a row, investing in ult, not getting the win. A dash out there from Germ is going to get seen. The gun is seen, and you are dead, Fang. The first kill of the round, taking down Germ is huge. The flash will come through, trying to delay long enough for the teammate to get the angle. 83 HP. Kind of dipping and dodging, playing around with the dancing shoes. Jing's kind of stuck out as the team does come and help assist, take some extra pressure towards this B site, and is putting some extra utility down. Kip will take one. Shy is just going to try and anchor on the boathouse, going to snipe out that owl drone first. This Odin can do so much damage, but the damage is on you. Kip gets the kill back, and it looks like site control once again for Test. They might even take another kill.
Caruso, there's ever been a moment, we've said it so many times, there's ever been a moment to save, it's this one, and then he dies in like a random 1vx. That one's different though, he was very far forward and already in the middle of the fight, so you can't blame him for not being able to force the save out there. It's unlucky, but really Test have just been dominating these past few rounds. I can't believe that I was doubting them, like, oh, if the defense starts off this half well, then could be a very clean win for them. Maybe my first caster curse of the night, I don't know. That might just have been it, excuse me, but might just have been my first caster curse of the evening. Hopefully not the first of too many, but phenomenal attacking round from Test. Phenomenal set of attacking rounds from Test as they are consistently just winning fights in spite of all of the efforts that the defense has been putting in. Good start to the round from Feng. Not even going to be traded either, though. So this could be a sign of new things to come for the defensive team.
Yeah, it is kind of a thrift store vibe from them, though. Not exactly the weaponry they would want, but Jings is just going to try and pressure on in. Beautiful stuff there. Kip will be able to pick up the kill as well. Chai, though, holding down the spawn angle, just trying to pressure with that Odin. TK right through the smoke will take one more down. So Justin Omen sitting here, Best Buy employee, going to try and fight out multiple of these angles. Takes the first, actually. Chai was pretty low HP, but the smoke as well, the blind is there. Best Buy, I mean, they're kind of stacked together. I think for SPG, it's the teleport. I don't know if they know. Best Buy employee taking the second is going to back up. Has the spike as well. This is an Omen v Omen duel that could be for the game.
Hey, it looks like it might be, because the way Best Buy employees playing this round, he's not have any plans of giving this opportunity away. No ult on him though, so now they know with the audio of that garage door being closed that he has to be on this A site. Spike planted. 1-on-1, and they both have the element of surprise, but even more of that element in favor of the defensive side that has now become the attacking side. moving through from the attacking spawn to try and get through a main. That's the angle he's elected to choose. Best Buy employee is staring right at this angle, and now Karuto's given away a spot, and he has no idea where to look for Best Buy, and so the advantage now on this side of the attacking Omen, who might just be able to close out this round. Spike not planted for him, though, and Karuto knows, but it's not enough! The intel can get you far, but it can't get you a round win, nor can it get you the map. Best Buy employee will close us out in 13-9 fashion as Test show up and show out on the attacking side of Ascent and closes it out in rather convincing fashion.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was not expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were gonna have a few more rounds at least, but we get to take a look at our scoreboard here right at the end. Kip, Germ, and Best Buy employee, they are topping the charts here, top 3. I also gotta say, I always love to point out the first bloods. Velo, 9 of them was really making a difference for their team getting those openers.
And look at how many plants SPG were able to get down as well. Compare that to what we saw on the other side. Granted, there weren't as many attacking rounds played by Test, but just generally looking at these plant numbers, so many plants consistently happening. I can probably count on my one hand the number of rounds where a plant attempt or a push attempt was shut down early and the other team had to kind of doubt what they were doing. Pretty much every single round we saw a team commit relatively early to a site, and they would end on that site 9 times out of 10. I want to say maybe 3, 4 rounds just off the top of my head that I can think of that weren't like that. Other than that, we're seeing these teams just very clearly execute towards a site after making it relatively clear that they want to go to that site to begin with, because they're not overcomplicating things, and it worked very well because we saw a ton of attacking round wins, and the defenses just couldn't really do anything about the sheer number of attackers pushing into their objectives at once.
I also gotta say, it was kind of weird to me. Usually when you have like 5 ultimates, you want to use a couple of them together, but it kind of just seemed like SPG, they're like, let's use one this round. Maybe we'll use one this round. Well, don't use too many one round, okay? Save them. We'll save them for the next one. And then all of a sudden, they just are using them one by one by one. But nonetheless, I mean, we got to talk about kind of looking forward, because yes, this match is done, unfortunately, for SPG. There's no second chance for them. They still made it to the top 4, so still props to them. But looking forward for Test, they got to play MimicGG in the grand finals, a team that every Frost viewer knows comes in, wins these things almost every other week, and they're here to play.
Safe to say, we've got a lot to expect. Test, sort of the unproven squad coming through to challenge the known kings of Frost Valorant. But who's actually going to take it? Will Mimic continue their reign, or will Test come through out of nowhere and take the crown for themselves in one of their first go-rounds? You'll have to stick around through this little break to watch our grand final.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, it's cold and losing my control. The light is gone, it's crazy. Control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation. No relation. We got no relation. It's crazy. And it goes like
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frost Esports. Still here with our weekly Thursday $100 Valorant tournament, and we are approaching the final series of the night. It's the grand finals, and it's a best of three. Still Lava here with Happy.
We are still here, very much strapped in, ready to go for hopefully all three maps. We can only hope that we'll get treated to several different maps of very, very tight Valorant action. And again, MimicGG coming in. You've seen this team quite a lot. They are a very, very solid squad of Valorant players who consistently show up and show out in the Frost tournaments. And Test, a team that we just watched win, I think, 7 of the last 9 rounds once they got on their attacking side of Ascent. So this is a team you need to fear when it comes to their ability to make dynamic plays on the attacking side. This is the team that is not afraid to group up, all try and push the same angle, and it is very hard to kill them when they do that.
It's hard to kill them when they do that. I am a little bit worried because they had a slight, rough defensive half. It was better towards the end. They picked up a couple of rounds, but we know MimicGG, they got the offense to show for themselves. So like you said, it's grand finals worthy. It's the challenger versus the team everybody knows. But sometimes, if you play so much, sometimes people know your strats. So maybe they've been watching, maybe they've been keeping an eye on the strategies, but Mimic are kind of so hard to deal with at points. I hope we go all 3 though. I'd love to see 3 maps between these 2.
It would be quite a great trade as well, because that means that Test are up to the test of taking down a team that we know is so good and has been so good so many times. We can only hope that they will be up to said challenge, because it's not as easy as just getting a map off of MimicGG. We've talked about it before. It's not that simple. An incredibly talented roster to be sure, but that's the thing, is that Test coming into this, they might just have the element of surprise on their side. We saw them use that very element so many times in the last map of doing things that weren't expected, doing this or that maybe. And I know you were talking about it during the break. It feels like whenever Mimic put 100% in, they win the tournament easily, but maybe they'll get caught off guard by the sort of unorthodox playstyle that Test are bringing to the table, because they're just able to make a play seemingly anywhere of any kind, even if you're just thinking about it like, I don't know why they think this is going to work. They can just make those plays work consistently, and we saw that last map.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be stemming from confidence. That's got to be the biggest thing that you got to have to play MimicGG. Because, we talk a big game about them. It is daunting when you are the team that's saying, oh, everybody's talking about them. They've won so many. They have so many trophies in the case already. But we saw just 2 weeks ago a team come in that was very confident, that made these aggressive attacking plays that kind of did catch them off guard. But there can't be a middle ground, okay? You can't play slow. They're going to beat you at that. If you play too quick and not confident, they're just going to pick your players off one by one. So offense with confidence, I think, is the key to beating them, but they just might have improved too much and, sometimes run to that brick wall.
Yeah, but honestly, if you're talking about offense with confidence, it's exactly what I see in Test, right? Getting that many rounds in a row off a very solid team after losing that pistol round, that's about as much confidence as you can have. Consistently putting a lot of money into buys, even when it may not be advisable, right? If you've got a financial advisor looking at this like, I don't really know if I would condone such behavior, but they're still making it work. They have the confidence in their own ability to say, all right, we're just going to go for it. We have these players that we have so much confidence in. It doesn't matter if we're in a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to all your on paper stuff and the other team is so good. Oh, they might just not be scared of Mimic. That's something that you were talking about, right? Being able to take advantage of a lack of confidence. Maybe they just be as confident as they were, not really thinking, oh, we're playing against a team who's so great, right? They might just come into it thinking, it's just another game of Valorant. Let's keep playing our game and not let the other team get to us. And I think if Test can do that, they might just be able to take it. But every reason to believe it'll be close from looking at it right here as we actually hop into our first map of Bind and the operator or the agent selection screen.
Yep, get to hop in for our first map. Like we said, possibly 3 here today for our grand finals. Would be exciting to see, but we get to start on Bind. It looks like they're looking for maybe a little bit different things. Could end up just be a bait and be hovering some different things, but it's going to be full locked in already from MimicGG. They're going to, as Bind usually has, they're going to be picking up the Rays. Pretty easy to move in with the blast packs and things like that. Also the Viper, another one of those controlling ultimates. Really good to either take control of mid or take control of one of those sites.
Double controller composition should work relatively well because in a lot of instances, Bind only has so many angles you can take advantage of as a defender, and so having 2 separate operators or agents, again, so much siege lately, but having 2 separate agents to take advantage of those angles, shut those down for the defense, could make your attacks much better, and also in reverse, being able to shut down those attacks that the attackers will have and all the angles they could go for with your utility as a defender is going to make your life a lot easier. But curiously enough, not full lock-ins from Test. As a matter of fact, Germ doesn't even pick anybody, and I think we're
Random.
going to have to start the lobby over again. That's
Yeah, most likely.
not ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were told that someone had a connection issue. I don't know. Is that still the problem, do you think?
Probably. I would have to assume that that is going their way, unfortunately. We'll get that lobby hopefully remade. Or maybe they're just going rando. They said grand finals. Give me a random agent, and we'll go with it. We'll play with whatever I get.
Honestly, I like that. I mess with that, right? Because you're talking about how, like, okay, if we see Mimic go 110%, meanwhile, we're not even going to see Test go 110%. They're just going whatever they feel might just be randomly selected as best, but possibly a switch up. Sticks almost locking in the Gecko, but no, going to stick with the Sky instead. Already one difference is Harbor versus Brimstone is going to be the only difference we see between these two compositions. Otherwise, everyone is perfectly the same, and the banners are almost the same, but Toast Korea just had to go and screw it up. Can they see the banners? I just realized. I don't know if they can see the banners. They can't see the banners. Everybody has the trans pride flag banners except for Toastcree, who just has like the default banner.
Oh, Toastcree, what the heck? I will have to say, talking about Toastcree, going to be one of the players to look out for. I mean, talk about the Raze duel. It's already a duelist, battle. That is something we have to look forward to. But Germ, what was a key portion in that win on last game? Toastcree, we've talked about them every single week after week. That Raze can do so much damage, and overall, those first bloods going to be an important thing as well. But we started off as we start any Valorant game, 0-0, and in this pistol round.
Incredibly excited to see, and looks like it might be a bit more A presence for both sides here. Every single attacker primed towards that A site. Meanwhile, 3 of the 5 defensive players are sitting towards that similar site as well. Just waiting on any kind of entry, but it's going to happen quickly. Harbor Wall pushed incredibly far forward to shut down a peek from U-Haul, but it might still come anyways through the wall, but now Jing actually going to think better of it, and they're just allowed into the A site this quickly, the attack is.
Looks like that wall once again going to block off that angle. Germ, the first blood of the game, will take down Toastcree here. Best Buy employee wasn't seen there. Almost able to pick up a double, but only gets one. The Sage, though, that means some healing cut out of the kit. Well, test. They've got the healing of their own, and that means that their Raze will be back right up to full here. Sky, obviously still for MimicGG, so they have some heals left for them. It's going to be no life, though, for your Harbor, as Kip takes another. A swing around the side from Beaver. These ghosts doing some damage, but the defuse is already through.
Defuse already out, and it would seem too many openings given to the defense. They weren't letting the other team into the A site. My mistake. They were letting them into the site just only as a trap, sort of. They weren't giving it to them for free. It's like a Venus fly trap, right? You wait for the prey to be right in the perfect spot, and you slowly close in on them. It's exactly what we saw, and so many defenders still alive when the defuse comes in. And so, phenomenal start to this game, and already test showing that they will not be an easy team to beat in this grand final.
Right, and I like to see that, just get some confidence up this pistol round, like you said. Set that trap and make it work. Phalanx, though, almost getting a kill there, but the kills are going the way of Test, right down through A mid. It is a massacre. 3 dead. MimicGG, only 2 players stand. Elf is trying to maybe get a sheriff shot, sees the shoulder blade. They're going to lose their own shoulder blades, falling to the ground. Now a 5v1, possible flawless round off of this bonus here. Kip might have a backside rotate here. We'll see it with the Ghost and a flawless round.
Flawless indeed. Ghost Tis patches to the final player quite simply in 2 rounds in a row for Test to begin us on bind, but it's not going to be that easy the whole way through. 2 kills only for the attackers thus far, but now they've got the gun advantage, playing into a bunch of Spectres, a Bulldog, and a Judge with 4 Vandals and a Phantom. It's safe to say that the defense is going to be quite disadvantaged in this round. They've got their work cut out for them. You have to play those close angles. You cannot take gunfights at uncomfortably long ranges because you will lose those against those 1-shot headshot and the 2-shot headshot gun in the Phantom. But specifically just the Vandals being so solid at range compared to those Spectres, even the Bulldog, and especially the Judge. Tests are going to have to keep this close quarter combat.
Yeah, and I love that they tried a Sage Wall off of B Long, but immediately destroyed there from MimicGG, putting the bullets in, putting the pressure in. Now Clay will put down that slow orb there and try to delay this push as much as possible. You're seeing some of the players from Test maybe think about a rotate over again. They have that TP on this map, so easy to get that secondary rotation from your players on the other side, but Clay will back up just a little bit, maybe letting them in once more as the slow play from MimicGG. They just don't want to hit the go button yet.
I like to see this after a last map having so many consistent rounds, one after another, of just non-stop up-tempo. It's nice to see the attackers take a little bit of time, use that util well, and the Fox is able to get a kill. The Wolf gets a kill for the Sky, another kill there as well as Jing, able to get one with the gun this time. And now, a 3-on-4 is the attack, kind of thrown for a loop in this instance, but they do have that portal right to the side of them, and they'll use that to their advantage to get into the A site. Free reign for Phalanx to make a plant happen, but now you have the Harbor still towards the opposite side, and 4 defenders that you're going to have to deal with pushing through, and Kip already able to get one onto Beaver. Next kill found for him with a Vandal as well, and Germ with a final kill. Test with a third. This time, they're able to make good on the worst guns and in a resounding fashion as well. Only one more kill in that round, and you came into it with so much significantly better guns. That's a really rough start for Mimic.
Yeah, it's a really rough start. I gotta say, really good recognition from the Test players. You know, the one player in Lamps is pretty much the gatekeeper for you getting that, kills, getting in back to that site. You put a smoke down on a player with a shotgun, that just gives them more space. Newsflash, everybody, but that gave them so much space to walk right back in. Like you said, Test, 3 rounds in a row here, and look at the buys. It's so sad for Mimic.
It's such a disappointing buy. I mean, you can't look at this and think that you've got your full potential being showcased in this round. Just a bunch of Sheriffs and a Marshal. Fortunately, Styx is able to get that scope on top, so the one-shot headshots will be quite impactful, but Phalanx able to get very close up and hit that headshot to get the first kill on a Germ. Traded out, though, as Beaver goes down next, but almost every single player has a kill. Styx the only player in the lobby yet to get on the board. But it looks like that might not happen for the remainder of the round, at least not if we see continued attempts at fragmented pushes by this attacking side, as 2 players completely split up one to the other, and Kip has an insanely good flank here.
This could be massive. I mean, has the advantage on the rifle as well. The swing around the corner could pick up Toscree. Oh, patience. Toscree doesn't know. And finally takes the kill there. Kip able to take down the Rays out of the equation. Was just looking for that. I love that play. The patience could have possibly gotten more here, and Clay could be a problem. Down this B-long area, kind of sitting in the nook near the teleporter, will get slow orbed on their own, but putting down all of that stall utility has let some of those teammates start to rotate on over Clay, waiting for those players to possibly bait out in the smoke here. Tough angles to look for. Jings will take out the other player, so it's just 2 walking down long. Phalanx will pick up a triple kill here. The res, it's a 2v2.
Oh no, but Jing catches both of them. The double headshot, and I like the attempted play on that res and then swinging in front, so you're not just baiting your teammate for the kill, rather trying to make sure you're in the 2v1 yourselves. But doesn't get that frag, misses the shots. Jing kills him, then kills his teammate right after. And a 4th round to start with. Funnily enough, one of the worst buys we've seen from the attacking side, especially when compared to what the defenders had. And they're almost able to get that one to work. So, signs of life here from Mimic. They're starting to come to life on the attacking side. But bind attack is not so easy. So, a good half for the defense can be expected. You can definitely make a comeback once you get on that defensive side of yourselves. But it's been a bunch of not so convincing rounds with not too many gunfights to be spoken of that go well for Mimic. And this round is going to start similarly, but what a good trade from Toscree.
Yeah, we'll try to blast back right on in. Phalanx will take a kill as well. Clay, no more Sage on the other side, and that Harbor Wall cuts off so much information. There's nobody else here, so a nice free sight here for Mimic. They will get to show us their prowess here on the post point. That dog going to be jumping around here. Stick's going to retake some control up through window here, but we'll get beat by Jings. Toscree getting some trades. That nice little ultimate, though, popped out to take down your opposing Rays, and Germ will get caught in the throwing of the utility. Really stinks, but Jings now has to clutch up a 1v2. Knows where these players are. This Hawk Be huge, swinging out the one player. There it is, Jinx. Down one, gets the second. Jinx a triple to clutch the round.
What a play from Jinx! How on earth do you isolate the fights like that? Beautifully used to the sky flash in the corner as well. The blinding light was absolutely blinding in that instance, and a 5th round to make it a clutch round, but still a round nonetheless for the defensive side. They continue to make sure it is 0 for the attackers, as Mimic not allowed a single thing through the first 5 rounds. It is insane the extent to which these rounds have been going consistently in favor of the defense. And even that round, the best round we've seen yet by far for the attack, just the clutch factor from Jinx makes all the difference.
Yeah, Jinx now sitting 8-0, really feeling good. The showstopper was invested last round for test, so Mimic will have their own showstopper this round if they do choose to use it at their disposal. It looks like once again going to be a B rotate. Clay though just takes the kill. It's a jump forward. This showstopper, the fuse already at half, might not even get any value of it. Will pop it towards the corner, forcing the players where they want to go, but these pincers are coming from 3 different angles. Windows spawn everywhere. It seems like they are coming out of the woodworks, Kip. As soon as that wall goes down, this angled Sage wall will block it out for some time. They back up, they got the plan, but how long can they hold this position?
Perhaps not so long. Sticks, though, not allowed to hold hookah for very long. Germ with a good trade, though, even though the flash comes out. Germ trying to make a big play out of hookah, and does so quite well. 3rd kill for him. The Raze shutting everything down, has shut everybody down except for Toaskery. That's going to be Best Buy's job, and much like his job as Best Buy employee, he does it quite well. Gets that kill, a 6th round for the defense, and it's starting to get a little bit out of hand, perhaps.
That is 6 rounds now in a row. Like you mentioned, usually for this match, it's usually a little bit more defender-sided, and we are going to get a timeout. I think this is really smart. You know, you don't want to let any more rounds slip. It is time to talk it over for MimicGG, and we get a little bit of time to talk as well. I got to say, Jinx, first death came at round 6 right there. That's crazy.
That just took so long. How on earth do you take that long to die? And even it's just like had an iron will to not fall. As in that last round as well, we saw it. Like a 1v2, 1v3, insanely good play from Jinx to win that round. And then the last round, it was much more convincing again, as Test have only really been taken to the brink once. Maybe twice if you count that 2-on-2, but they consistently had an advantage, and it felt like they were in possession of that round for most of it. You needed that kind of Hail Mary gunfight win off the back of the res for the attacks to even stand a chance, and Felix didn't win that, and in turn they didn't win the round. But it's only been 1 round where we've really seen much of anything, and because they haven't been able to secure even something of a foothold in this game, they're still on 0. That means they're not getting the money in whatsoever. They're consistently playing with worse rounds, and they're not getting good guns. They're having terrible buys, and that's what makes it so hard to win and start a streak when you've been losing so consistently, because you're constantly, every other round, I think we got to save this one. I got to half this buy. You know, I can't really go with everything I want. You're missing some utility. You're missing some guns. So all we need is 1 round from the attack, and we could see a completely new attacking side come out. A completely different MimicGG to what we've been seeing so far tonight, and very similar Mimic to what we've been seeing in so many whiteouts recently.
Down 6-0, not the usual Mimic Clay. The first kill onto Toaskery, the first Blood King there, going to be taken down. Once again, they don't have the greatest weaponry, but to see your Raze down early does not feel good. MimicGG looking to get the plant. Not really been successful on this B site. Again, 0-6. Clay sniping out the opposing Sage on this one. They'll walk through the teleporter angle in short here. A kill from Jinx, and it is a flawless round off of a timeout for Test. And this is what they have been doing. Not only do they win this round, it's the stall plays. It was literally this in their last series, that it's not only they're having good games, it's the players, their communication. They can get these kills, and it delays so much time.
I know they had sheriffs only, but that was still just insanely good. What an attacking round it was to get into the site, but what a defensive round it was to attack back into that objective and get every single kill. I like the ability to get some kind of presence in the site. That was solid, but they've been doing that. There have been spike plants and plays towards the objective, but they continue to go to B, They've done that every single round for the past few. They've barely ever ended on A. When they have, it hasn't gone well. And I understand B, format-wise, a little easier to get into, long, easier to take control of. You have more openings for an attack, but I mean, at some point, it has to give. But they're doing it again this time, and there's only one player on the site, so maybe the first attacking round we've seen will come out here.
Did invest the old Squiddy boys there from MimicGG from the Seekers to get some extra information on their side. Pelt will be able to take the first blood and take down Clay here. That is some huge kills, but like you said, B, easy to take, harder to hold because it's easier for that defending team to come in and retake it. It is going to be that Viper's Pit invested from MimicGG to cut off this window angle. Jings, though, just watching. There's a shorty waiting for you on the other side. Gets the flick, though. A triple kill, though, from Pelt on the other side. Still a 2v2 as this fight continues. A hawk in the hands of Jings. Kip search now through the smoke. A beautiful kill there from Phalanx. Are they watching the right angle? Yes, they are. Toasty will get the last one, and Mimic will get their first round of the half.
Finally get around. After 7 to the other team, they finally hop on the board. This is called the Brazil where I come from, but that's normally when it ends. This instance is not nearly considered that because it's not close to over, at least not if Mimic have anything to say about it, and clearly they are not done talking. They have been interrupted in the middle of a conversation, but they are not going to let you interrupt them without getting punished for it. Finally hopping on the board to some degree with a very solid attacking round. They almost take too long to execute into the site before giving away that they're there initially, but eventually they win that round, but this time around already a very early trade, not taking too long to do anything at all.
German's just walking out here, does not care if you have players. Toasty will eventually get some trades. Pelt as well, some beautiful ones here as now a player advantageous round for MimicGG, and I feel like, yeah, that first round in 8 here, they really got to start racking some up. Would love to say, yeah, the copium is, yeah, we can get 5-7, but still have to walk through a couple of tough ones. That res is available for test if they want to equalize out the number of players on the field, but I think they're okay right now. They do have kind of a pincer angle, a little bit separated. Maybe a TP play? That could be an option for Mimic.
Could be. Very likely that could happen, but the moment it just looks like they just want to get into the site, and they're allowed to do just that. Direct take through. Good harbor wall as well. Shuts down any kind of presence they could possibly have in this objective on the defensive side. And Kip already spraying through it blindly, doesn't do any damage, and then the couple of shots sent through the wall at him are going to hit the mark. And so unfortunate that Viper's at relatively low HP, too far away to get a heal from the Sage, but Sage is out making sure the other team has no health left. Clay with another, and now the retake might go well. It's only left to Pell inside his showers. He's slowed off so he can't push out, but with the res coming out as well, it's too much to deal with, and Kip through the wall will take the last kill. A beautiful retake from Test. They started off with 2 players, and they end up with 3. Rarely ever do you see an instance like that in a retake scenario where the defense comes out better than they were going into it after coming into the retake scenario at a player disadvantage. But that's just how good Test have been playing this map, man.
Yeah, and they had ADS players watching the angles. The reaction time was just bad. I don't know what to say, and I was a little bit worried. I mean, we talk about it. The one round that Mimic won, they invested 3 ultimates to get all of that control, and now only one of them on their board. They lose another round. It's back to like a here or there buy, not really shields on every player, a sheriff on sticks. I mean, what can you do here?
What can you do here? I honestly don't know. Run into a site that's not super packed with defenders, as they do just that. They walk into a site with nobody on it, 1 player towards heaven. That's Kip alone upstairs, and nobody else is on the site. So now you see more presence coming from the attackers, but Kip alone seems to be more than enough to at least start off this defense of the site well. Throws out a snake bite, but it's not going to land on point. The shots landed before as he got 1 kill. Good trade from Pell, but Pell taken down after as Germ able to get that next frag. And the retake might go even better than the last one did here because they've got a player advantage this time around. Yes, there's a snake bite on the diffuser, but eventually you'll be able to hop back on it unless they have perfect lineups. But Phalanx from the flank gets 1, gets 2, and now coming out of U-Haul, it's the last 2. 1 getting shut down by Beaver, but Clay able to trade it out. Only left to Phalanx, but he's got any single position to check. It's Clay. Not sure where Felix is. Might even just stick this, actually. Smoke's still present on the bomb for a while. He's going to go half. Felix now pistol out. Eventually swaps to the Phantom, but just not enough time allowed to Clay. In the second round, taken by the attack. As they finally hop on the board, no hope at saving there for Felix, so he will go down, but at least able to get around on the board in the process.
Yeah, picks up a triple there. Nice to win the iconic Sage duel 1v1 right at the end. And a second round here for MimicGG. As a reminder, we got 2 more rounds in the half, and it's going to be kind of an invest once again for Mimic. Again, you look at the funds. Not great if they don't win this round. They will be in shambles. And even this round, only 3 light shields on the board, but they got the res. I feel like that's going to be integral going forward along with that Harbor ultimate. So we'll see if they try to push fast. Again, this is the right way to go. Worked for them, and there is only 1 player sitting here.
And 1 player's just been taken down. This time around, Kip not able to get a single kill in his defense of the A site, not allowed to stay alive. Those were 2 things he did last round that helped make it look so good for the defense in that retake to start, and neither of those things happens now. Jeremy able to get a good trade back, but goes down and trying to put the boombot down, and Toastcree with another. A 4-on-2 as Clay and Best Buy need to do it all on their own. Clay gets 1, almost gifted a second, as Sticks swings wide, a little off on the shots, and eventually thinks better of swinging so wide. And so, 3-on-2, Smoke on the spike. They could possibly get this defuse off as the spray's going through. Aren't going to do anything to Best Buy. He's halfway. He's not going to get all the way, though, and Clay eventually able to take down Felix. They have to spray through again now, though. They're not hitting the shots! Clay with a clutch, a 9th round for the defense. And it looked so good for the attack, but no matter how good the start is, it would seem inevitable that Test to make the comeback. They do it again, and they get to a 9th round for themselves.
What a madman, Clay. Just walked in the smoke, said, I'm not getting off this spike. I'm either dying or winning the round, and they won the round. The ping maybe not in the correct position to spray through that smoke. Test, get on to 9. I mean, that sucks. I'm not gonna lie. For Mimic, like, you had full control of that, and then you just don't spray in the right spot. You lose the round. Now we're at the last round before the half, and again, it's a here, there, bye. They're gonna rush through into this A site. Germ gonna shut down Pelt right away, and it's gonna be 4 players looking to take down 1 on the site. The plant will go down, but Best Buy might be here to cut him down.
Best Buy might just be there, Spectre only though, and that's not going to make things easier. Slowed down and caught by the Sheriff through the box and taken down by Sticks as he tries to make his way out the other side. Res found by Felix as well is only going to make it even more difficult for the defense to try and make something happen as the attackers are all around. They are swarming this site. Clay able to get 1, able to get a second, but how much more can he do? Well, nothing more than that. A little bit of chip damage here and there after the first couple kills came through, but it was just stat padding at that point, and once they're finally able to secure that kill, they're able to secure that round and at least make it a 9-3 half. It wasn't looking great, but it's not looking terrible now.
Not looking terrible. I mean, would have loved a couple more rounds there. I think the most important thing towards the end of the round is Toastcree started to get involved, getting those first bloods. I really do believe the most dangerous player on MimicGG. So if you can get them to start to get going, this can possibly change your defensive half. We talk about it though. My good friend Edu says the 9-3 curse isn't real and only bronze players believe in it. But let's see if it comes to, fruition here.
Spoken like a bronze. What can I say?
I mean, I'm a bronze, so I believe it.
Yeah, personally, I think I was last like silver. I don't know. I don't actually play Valorant too much. I mostly just watch it. But regardless, 9-3, still looking relatively solid. Best Buy looking to make some kind of play with every single one of his teammates, save for Kip, as they look to push towards B long. Not too many pistols actually bought up here. They've got the Sheriff and a bunch of classics as opposed to the Ghosts on the other side. And they're going to chuck some smokes in, try and make a play through. Sticks able to get the first kill on a Kip, but that's the only player towards Hookah. All the other players are towards B long. Clay able to take down 1, and now they've established their presence inside of the site. Toastcree able to get 1 though, and Spike still yet to be planted. Toastcree missing shots, almost punished for it, but it comes through the smoke with a good headshot. How on earth is that allowed to happen? Still no spike plan either, by the way. Jinx wants to try and stick 1, but he's been stuck in the box for far too long and is eventually taken down. Sticks able to make sure Clay goes down as well. And a final round score of about 4 players left alive for the defense and 0 for the attack. If you're looking to make a comeback, that is exactly what you need to do to start.
Yeah, it's a really good start. I also gotta say, Toascree, what was that? Well, like a dance through everyone through the smoke, still found a way to survive. But yeah, nonetheless, Mimic will take their 4th round on the board here. Now into their kind of bonus. They didn't get to win their first pistol round, so this is a nice little treat for them to go to. And we talk about it. This map usually a little bit more defensive favored, so really good to come out swinging on the pistol round. Germ might be coming out swinging though with that classic. We'll shoot in the paint shells to try and do some damage. Kip took some damage as well, and Toascree is gonna get that first blood.
Big first blood for Toascree. Really good, solid start to the round to start off with. And now, staring down the barrel of a 5-on-3 that they are not in the advantage of, is the attacking side. It's test, trying to get back in. What on earth? Toascree! How? What?
They just walk into the bullets. I don't know. Ace. Easy.
I don't know what to say.
Speechless. Oh man. Toascree. I mean, we knew this player could do some crazy things, but that an ace in your bonus round especially, that feels good. I'm not gonna lie. And get the ultimate. Why not? Pick that up.
Yeah. Just wow. Like
Jeez.
what?
Oh no.
Insanely good play from Toascree. Wins them that round. They were gonna win it anyway. Let's be honest. Is not the best guns on the attacking side, but still, just what a round to get anyways. And well, test. Just 1, 2, 3 goes their name, the number of tests you say in their name, and 1, 2, 3 went Toascree with the kills at the end, rapidly one after another. Got those kills faster than you could say. Test. It's 9-5. The scoreline now. Attackers looking to move in towards B once again. This time it starts well for Toascree, but only so well as he gets 1 kill and 3 go to test. As Felix and Beaver started on the A site, they'll have to end on B, and they'll both have to kill all of the 4 players alive, or get a spike plant, or both, preferably. But eventually, Spike got to get defused, and it's not looking so likely with the way that the attack is set up on this site. Kip waiting for a push out, gets Beaver down. And unfortunately for Felix, he's got to work alone into a sky flash, a sage wall, and people are trapping him on both sides of elbow. It's not really winnable.
Yeah.
Big kill for Kip. 3-piece for the Viper in that round, and a good one for Test.
Move on to double digits, double their opponent's score line once more here. As expected, though, that's kind of what we've talked about is, you win the pistol, you get the bonus, then they have rifles. So this will be the real round where everybody's got rifles, everybody's got pretty much full shields. There's some light shields here and there, but, this is the first round where you really got to prove yourself. Importantly, again, with that clutch up, it is going to be important for Test. Those ultimates are starting to build up pretty rapidly.
They're building up fast, especially on both sides, because, well, especially on that attacking side. Look at that. All decently far into it. Meanwhile, look at the defense, and they're not really as close. Only 1-on-5, 1-on-4. Meanwhile, everybody else has got 1 charge left. Just ults have been popped, at least relatively recently, for the defense. But attack, getting kind of close. Maybe 1 more good round, and you'll be able to get 1 or 2 ults out of it. Nobody actually has their charge up at the moment, but Beaver and Felix are going to charge out, get 2 very quick kills, and then Beaver able to get another. Toascree with 1 more, and the defense loses a round, but they very much want to show the world that they are still in it and still in the driver's seat in this half. Only left to the final attacker in Clay. He's able to catch 1 off guard. Boo, pad your stats, bud. You deserved it. You actually deserved the second one as well. You've been such a good boy. You deserve that. And then you're going to get a spike plant down as well. Could we see a miracle? Is that how this is going to go? Gets another one. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Rez possibly as well. Does he stand a chance here?
It's possible. I mean, it could be a 2v2. You got to get back to get the res. There it is. Germ, such a good player as well. The Raze is going to be up for this fight. The dog going to try and grab some information. A piece of that sage wall broken down. The slow orb going to try and delay Beaver on a triple now. The Raze still an option, though. That spike ticking rapidly here. The time slowly running out. Beaver, a nice little kill there. 4K with 6 players alive at the end of it. Get some nice kills. MimicGG, they should be able to eventually get this defuse after giving us a few heart attacks.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we are very much not prepared for the defuse. I like that attempt at the retake in. It went well for Mimic. phenomenal effort from Clay as well. Gets two, actually then gets the third, which is the actually impactful frag, because that means, number one, he's able to get a spike plant down. Number two, he's not going to get flanked. They're both coming from the same angle on the other side. Number three, he's able to get a res off. And all of those things combined make it so that is a winnable round. Very much an impactful kill to get that third, but unfortunately for him, not able to get any more beyond that because it was a clean sweep once the defenders got into the site and the spike had already been planted. They were struggling before the spike went down, but it was seen they finally locked in, put in 110%, and Mimic on a little bit of a run now for the last 5. And now, speaking of running, we're going to watch as the attackers run straight into the site, but it's only going to work through B long. Hookah is not really going to go so well for them as 2 kills go very fast to the defense.
Nice quick kills here, but site control. But we talk about this B site has so many angles for you to watch for, and so do have to be careful. Make sure your point defense and your communication is on point. Some of those snake bites, another utility is going to be thrown in to try and zone them off. Toskri, a nice little kill there. Now a 5v2. Germ will get one back. Sticks, the trades are there though, and it's a lonely little Clay. Maybe a miracle once again. Walks through the arbor wall. Can't get as many kills as last time. It will be a little defuse as well. MimicGG, this defense really standing tall.
It's been standing so tall. Just across the board, defense has been playing incredibly well. Last half, it took an incredibly long time, though, for the attack to start winning rounds. And then, once Mimic got on the board, they won 3 of the last 5. This time, already 1 round on the board for test. So they need to win at least 2 rounds for the rest of this half to at least, at bare minimum, force OT, and then it'll likely be whoever's able to win an attacking round first can win that map. So that's probably what's going to happen. It happens a lot in these instances, and it might just happen here as well. But relatively good start for Test. They've shown promise already on the attacking side. They've already gotten a round win, and I like to see that because it means that maybe they'll be able to just take a little bit more of a convincing attacking side than we saw from Mimic. It's already aggressive fights towards B-Long again. Sticks looking to fight for this control. They've been giving it away one too many times, but unfortunately gives it away without getting a single kill, and now they're going to push straight into B.
And those Seekers popped off that ultimate orb grab. Phalanx picking up a triple. They suffer a lot of casualties, though, so still sitting at a 2v2. Make that a 2v1. Toskri taking down Clay, the clutchable player. Toskri takes down the second as well. Toskri is having such a good half as Mimic get onto 7 with the defuse.
Mimic with a phenomenal round to take in that instance as well. They lose that first pick. That could have been the difference maker. Getting the first frag, getting that first blood. I know you mentioned you love talking about first blood so frequently. Well, you saw it there, but it didn't make enough of an impact on the round because it was such... It's just been a B simulator. I feel like I can count on one... maybe like if I lost a couple fingers, I could still count on one hand how many times I have seen an A execute across both of these halves. And we've seen it a couple times tried by Test. They had a couple rounds where they were able to get close, like, for example, that 1-on-5 that was almost won by the Sage of Clay, who's having a phenomenal game to start with here. Not quite as many kills as Toskri, but beating everybody else out in the lobby. But yeah, they're consistently going to be, and because of that, the defense is able to adjust accordingly, make aggressive plays, rotate quickly, and they're not dealing with anything too fancy here. It's another B push straight up. Never mind, actually. Okay. Yep. I had to speak.
Yeah, they heard your voice. They're going to be walking over towards this A site. Mimic will be walking onto the B site with that res, so they will be all 5 players strong. Did already invest a couple of those ultimates, so Test, they are going to invest this Viper's Pit here to try and get full control here of this A site. Toskri, though, is in a little bit of a troublesome angle for them to clear out. Beaver starting it off with a kill, and if you could take that Viper down, there you go. The pit is going to fall. Now you have no cover. You got nothing except some smokes to protect yourself. Again here, Best Buy employee will take down the first. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Again, another instance of it's a different team. Last map we had that. Last map that we spectated, we had that a lot with Korudo, I think his name was Kodoro. It was one of those two, but he, for SPPG, never really saved and was always the last player left alive and not so winnable 1vx situations. You see it there again from Best Buy, and again, no save attempt even made, and now not going to have the best guns coming into this round. It's a very fragmented buy, but a Vandal or a Phantom, I forget exactly which one he had on him at the end of that last round, but I know that either one of those two would make it look a lot better as Germ trying to make this round look very good with an early push, but it's one inside the corner of
He's stuck in.
hell, Seal's just sitting there. It's Beaver just sitting right there, waiting for them, and he's got him right where he wants them. They walked right into the pit, and they do not want to be in there with him. They're stuck in the Thunderdome, and a great one headshot from Toskri as well as Kip taken down, and it's only left to Germ. A phenomenal round from the defense, and again, we see another round go to Mimic as they bring it within one round of being even.
I mean, does Beaver, like, has their night job as, like, a magician or something? Like, what is going on? Like, literally, they all walk past. Easy 3 kills, easy information. Another round for Mimic, like you said. Their defense, I mean, is so strong. So many rounds in a row. We're back to tied.
We are right back. It feels as though this was kind of inevitable, right? How many times are we going to see just the defense go on insanely good runs? If there was one thing, though, to hold on to here for test, it's that the defense did a really good job when they got back into it. Or they did a really good job at the start of the half, but eventually, Mimic were able to stand up against them. And maybe we're seeing that now. Clay's going to get a plant down and a full 5-on-5 post-plant situation. We haven't seen really anything that's nearly as good as this for the attack, but Felix on the flank gets 1 kill already.
Got 1 kill to start off here. Felix, though, position is known. Going to take some extra damage there. Heal themselves, so should get back up to that 100 marker. Jin going to combine for double there as they cut down the MimicGG players, reducing their player advantage down to -1 here. Testo, Toskri picks up a triple kill. Did it to him again. I gotta say, the defense, MimicGG, Toskri having such a good half. Started out 1-4 on this match, is now sitting above 30 kills. 30 kills.
Wow. What an insane game from Toskri. Almost just over 20 rounds, he's got 30 kills. That is insane. Very, very easily clearing 1 kill per round, almost closing in on 3 kills every 2 rounds, and he's been coming to life on the defensive half specifically. So if you were to do the calculations for how many kills he's been getting per round on the defensive side, I think it clears 2, just based on just off the top of my head, because we've seen so many rounds where he's able to get 2, 3, even 4. That one ace he had as well was fantastic, and again, the attack left without much in terms of weaponry. They've got to buy a sheriff on Best Buy employee. They're missing a lot of armor. They don't have perfect util. It's not looking great for them. And Styx is able to get the first kill on the Germ. What on earth do you do here as test? You die. You keep dying. It would seem that's all you can do.
Showers, yeah, you're just gonna die. That's what it is. Beaver Pelt will pick up the kills. Phalanx to get the final one. 3 players live from MimicGG, and they will be moving on to map point here for our first map of possibly 3. Got to say, again, this defensive half, you can see it. All of those greens on the scoreboard only have dropped 1 round. It's the round to be expected. It's that extra round after the bonus. And now look at the buy. Like, it's not great. The alts are not great either. Only a Sage res. The Seekers, yes, you gotta win the round. That's what it is. Off nothing.
Yeah, they need to just get back into this. Something, anything. They've won 1 round on the attacking side. I don't even know what to suggest at this point. Maybe we've seen them try everything. One site, another site, fake one, go to another. They are dying first so many times. You just had a judge at that range. At this point, they're just not able to catch any breaks. Res for Clay gets 1-2 kills for the defense, and even after the revive, they're still at a player disadvantage. Germ's able to catch 1, though, and that means a gun could be picked up. Clay with another with a headshot, but Toskri fights back with more, and now it's Germ against Styx in a 1-on-1, and he's ready for that swing. It is so fast, and it's all over. As soon as they were down 7-0, 20 rounds later, or not even 20 rounds later, 16 rounds later, they win 13 of those 16 rounds. They win 9 of their, I want to say 10, or they win 10 of their 11 defensive rounds. Just a masterclass of defense from Mimic. We thought we had seen the peak of defense from Test, But no, actually, Mimic are even better at it. Anything you can do, I can do better. And they will take map 1 away from test, and start off our best of 3 grand finals in a very solid fashion.
And I gotta say, Happy, they might be bronze players too, because they believed in the curse. They ran it back. The
think about
9-3. This is proof. Edu, clip it. I'm sending it to him later. But nonetheless, I digress. But I think they forgot. They went to that round. They had a good defensive half, and then they forgot about the Toascree factor.
Yeah, you cannot forget about the Toascree factor. That is not something you can forget about. You should not be allowed to forget. That should be a crime, honestly. Punishable by something. I don't know. But you need to get punished for forgetting about the Toascree factor. He has a rough half to start off with. And, hey, I think maybe he's not playing so well tonight. We might have caught him on a very good night. And then he comes back into it and it's just like excuse me, I'm sorry. Did you think that you were going to win? Because I had other plans and the script here that I have that I was given by Frost. I was actually told that I was going to win again. So he's done it so many times, and it would seem that he wants to do it again. I think it's funny, though, that the one player without a different banner, just making sure he stands out in the select screen that we get to watch, the intro screen, and also making sure that he stands out in the lobby as well, because very much on a completely different stat line than the rest of that lobby.
Yeah, completely different. Getting first bloods, getting kills, felt really good overall. Now, obviously, we're not done because, this is the grand finals. We'll have at least one more map. It is going to be Haven for our second map. Tell me a little bit how you like Haven, Happy.
Well, it's better for the attackers. I'll say that much.
Sure.
That's something we could really use on this map. Is so many open opportunities, 3 different sites. It's harder to play on the defense because you have to split it in a certain way where one of the sites is on paper left a little weaker than the others. In a lot of instances, that's B because it's not that hard to retake into, and you can leave one player on every single other sort of route in. You think of it as mid, garage, A long, A short, and then C long. That's just kind of how that maths out when you think about it on paper, and that's what a lot of teams tend to do on this map. But any variety of that leaves any one of the other sites a lot weaker off. So it's a very delicate balance on Haven. To get a good defensive half on this map, you have got to have every single player in every single position at least going 1-for-1 consistently. And if you're not having that, if you're having one player who's consistently being taken advantage of, then that's allowing the other team avenues into the site, which on this map in particular, because you have to forfeit so many defenders off of each site in particular, because there's 3 of them, it's not really something you can afford to give up.
It's not. And on Haven specifically, they're both running, again, matching compositions, being a little bit boring here, I gotta say. I personally love some neon. I love some extra flavor, add some speed. But, they're not picking it. They're going with the same old here.
Yeah, every single thing that we see, it would seem, is the exact same, which that's how you know you're watching a high-level Valorant, because nobody's really deviating too far from the norm. Then again, you get to the highest level, and maybe some people are trying some really crazy strats, because you got people full-time playing, scrimming things out, testing how they think X or Y or Z is going to work, and theory crafting all the time. These players, it's a balance between knowing what's best and not necessarily having the time to commit to figuring out something that could work even better than that. So that's why you see so many samey compositions, And it gets a little bit disappointing, but as I had said earlier, when you see 2 teams who are running the same exact compositions, you know the better of the 2 will win, because there's nothing extraneous that is going to get in the way, and we will, in fact, see, on paper at least, the better of these 2 squads win. And based on that last map, Mimic might just be the better of them, but early push into B already by the attacking side. Oh, Clay!
A double kill there from Clay. Toascree does get the first blood here. It is going to be Mimic sitting after Pelk does take out the opposing. Omen Germ found out the Sheriff angle. And it is just some gun duels. That's what you expect off of the pistol round. And that's what you expect from MimicGG. Yes, you said on paper the better team is going to win, but we forgot. Toascree supersedes all paper.
You can't pin him down, man. It's like literally supersedes paper. It's like if rock, paper, scissors, rock just didn't lose to paper.
It just didn't lose.
Like, it's just kind of not fair, right? You're like, okay, we're going to counter with this. Well, it's still Toascree, right? Like, you can do as much as you want, but it's still hard to actually win the fights. And it's exactly what happens there. But specifically Felix with a couple of kills as well. Make sure we sing the praises of him as well, getting a phenomenal start to that one. And sing the praises of Kip after he gets a phenomenal kill to start this round off. Great classic shot, or rather sheriff shot, all the way down C long, but they're still pushing into his site regardless.
This is one of the easier angles to hold there. Some trades back and forth. Kip on a triple kill. Taken down by the SMGs of MimicGG as they start to walk in a little bit further. It's beautiful once again. A thrifty. The round they're not supposed to win. Test decides to win it anyway.
Test just has a better mindset going into that round. They walk into it, they walk into the C site, and they know exactly what you can take advantage of on a map like Haven. Most eco rounds from the attacking side, I would be shocked if we don't see that something similar to that happen. Most of the attack walking into the same site. A lot of cases you will see C long, maybe B for example, but that didn't go so well in the first round, so I'd imagine it'll be a little bit before we see a similar push to that, as this one looks like a bit more of a default, perhaps A play, and already Jet dashing in through a lobby, trying to make sure they showcase presence earlier, and wait a minute, if you look at short really quick, Jet is just walking up for free out of sewer, and is going to get caught perhaps by Clay on the site itself. But Toascree just pushing forward, getting a kill, picking up a Vandal, almost taking down the player on A-Long as well, but Germ will shut down that dream as right after he shuts down a different player towards lobby. Big double kill for the Jet, shutting down the other team's Jet, but Kip is in behind, able to get that next kill, and an attack that looked so promising at the start seems to be finishing with a little bit of a falling flat on its face type maneuver.
Yeah, it also looks like the spike may have been forgotten back in spawn, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Pelt will be able to take a kill with the Sheriff. Lovely little tool there. Should be able to pick up the better weaponry to possibly make that crazy play happen. But again, no spike. 45 seconds. Jings will be able to get the final trade. Down to 26 HP was a little bit scary, but Test will go back to back.
Test go one and then another. After that first round goes so well for the other team, they're able to respond quite well, even though they have a weapons disadvantage. And then, in that last round, weapons advantage, same difference, same thing. Doesn't matter how many guns we got, we're still going to win some rounds. And once we start to get into the meat and potatoes of Haven, it would seem that they're off to a good start again. But we saw this from them last map. They had a really good start. The best start you could possibly ask for. You went up, what, 6 to 7? It was 7. 7 to nothing after the first 7 rounds. This time around, though, they've already given up a round, and if we see Mimic start to come to life towards the end of this map again, it might not be enough. Beaver is coming to life here early on, taking a quick kill and trying to push them into A.
Yeah, but look at this. Toascree, the swing, gets to pick up the kill onto the KJ here. Nice stuff. Beaver as well, taking down the opposing Sova. Mimic, they can choose wherever they want to go. They could stick on A. They could rotate towards somewhere else. Toascree kind of sniffing out that there might be a flank angle coming on through the plant. Will go down, though, at this moment. You got to try and get something. Might just be a save. Germ, I forgot, bought the operator on round 4, and you can't really push forward with this.
You kind of can't. There's not only so much you can do. It's just kind of a rough situation. Best Spy employee gets one. Germ just gonna hold on to the operator because it's such a powerful gun to have in this instance. You at least want to keep it around, but they know he's got it, and they are gonna hunt him down with every single bit of firepower they have. Best Spy not expected there though, so he's gonna play a little bit of protect the president with this operator. Keep his teammate alive for just a little bit longer. Now they've got the smoke to play inside of, but they're getting closed in on from every possible angle. Really nice shot, though, from Best Buy. Shame those weren't shots that were used in the actual retake of the site itself, because they're shutting down every single attacker who still remains.
Okay, we know the drill.
I mean, they got 4 kills not on site. What is the end of that round? I don't know. Nonetheless, it will be a win because that spike does go off for MimicGG. So completely equalized out, and Germ gets to keep the operator. Why not? Protect the president. It worked. You saved it here. I mean, saved it through violence, but now you get to keep it in this round 5.
Well, they get to keep it into round number 5. That's going to make it better. Operator on A site, perhaps the least orthodox of any site you could see it played on, just because of the long angles on the other sites and the lack thereof. On the A side at times, run in from Toascree. Oh
no.
Uncharacteristic whiffs at the worst time. Gonna mean he goes down to Clay. Jings with another. Beaver able to get one, but How much is one kill really going to do you here? As Mimic in the middle of this site, but they're caught between several rocks and multiple different hard places, as it's only one player left alive. It's only Pell dropped in the process of dropping that diffuser by Jinx, who's able to keep the lead in favor of Test early on.
Some nice paranoias there from Best Buy. Get some good blinds out in B. But Test, yeah, really good job win the duels. Like you said, very unfortunate for Toaskree to miss every single knife. Very uncharacteristic. But now I didn't know the town was big enough for 3 sheriffs, but we're getting 3 sheriffs, Happy.
3 sheriffs. We got a bulldog, just a classic. Toaskree doesn't really feel like investing anything. So weird buy here, to say the least. As Styx kind of didn't get the memo as much as everybody else, has spent the most coming into this, has the least still at the moment. Maybe not the greatest of buys in terms of team cohesion, but maybe the Bulldog will make a big difference. As a full auto gun like that can make an impact at range can be very impactful when you're talking about attacking into certain sight lines, but already the first gun to make an impact is going to be Kips, as he will find his bullets making impacts in the head of Felix. Styx able to get
one enemy remaining.
Taken down, but
down
3
A.
kills from Jinx. Wait a minute. Phenomenal play from that Phantom, and now the defense still looking pretty solid. It's just left to Beaver alone with the Bulldog.
That doesn't
now
check
he's
down
dead.
here in sewers, and Best Buy employee will find the final kill. It did look okay there for a second. I mean, you talked about Toaskree only buying a classic, still got a kill with it, so still pretty impressive there, but would have loved maybe a little bit more than 2 kills on an eco round. Nonetheless, it is going to be back to rifles for MimicGG, and the good news is, you know, you're still pretty close on the scoreline. Yes, you're down a couple of rounds, but you got ultimates. I think that's the most important thing. Both bubbles of trouble, that lockdown available for both squads. I expect some of them to be used here relatively soon.
Should be used pretty soon. Both of these teams could use it. An extra round in this instance could make all the differences. Another round for the attack, you're getting on the board, you're making sure the other team doesn't get too far out of reach. And another round for the defense, you've broken the attack's economy again. And a round win here could be easily supplemented by another one to follow. And the bigger lead you can establish here, the less of a likelihood you have a similar situation as to last map, where you had a really rough streak of rounds. And this round might just be a little bit of a rough streak. They get straight into the site already, and the defender Killjoy isn't in a great spot to shut down these attackers in the site. His plant can still go down, and the defender Killjoy has been taken down by the Hunter's Fury. Phenomenal start to the attack, and Kip gonna make it even better for the defense, though, as they look to strike back into the site.
Double bubble of trouble only detains 1 player here, and it's for the attacker's side. So beautiful job for there. Jing is going to try and send some stuns their way. Alex is on the backside here. Toaskree picking up a double. Clay Kip combining that. Operator takes down the Jet. Felix, though, this flank angle. The pincer is so beautiful here. There's nowhere for them to go, and Beaver will find the final kill. Clay, nowhere to go. Mimic will take the round off of a lot of ults invested.
Great start to that round from Mimic, and just generally a very good conclusion. They're able to get into the site so quickly. Love the use of the Hunter's Fury to counter that Killjoy ult, because you think, oh, you don't want to pop an ult as good as that, just kind of not get any kills. But at the same exact time, shutting down that util means you can peacefully exist inside that site. It means you can exist wherever you want, and that ability is crucial in retake scenarios, because giving up too much control too quickly, which is what you would have had to do if that lockdown had gone through, would not have meant you win that round. It would have meant you probably lose that round, all things considered. And Toaskree already establishing so much control. 2 quick kills, it's C long, and already C site seems to be quite in favor of the attackers as they look to even things out here at 4-4.
And Toaskree bought the old ADT home security, the Aldrone package included in that one, so able to see the 2 players down long, pick up the 2 kills as well, and they got the plant down in C. Now the question is, they do still have 1 lurking around B to maybe try and take some of these kills, but Test, it doesn't seem like they want anything to do with this site. They just might be saving.
They might just be. Seems to be the instance here. I don't know. This looks a little bit like a save. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't quite call this one. A little bit up in the air. They look like they're in very good position to possibly retake this one. Don't quite know. But Germ, at this point, honestly, it's like they're defending. Yeah, they might go. Honestly, guys, I don't know. Is this a save? I can't quite tell yet.
I don't know.
Sure? I don't know. But yeah, everyone dies inside of the defender spawn. It's just kind of how saves go sometimes. You go for what you can, and what you can't deal with, what you can't get, you just kind of say, all right, we'll have to make work with what we have into the next one. Op still purchased up into this for Germ, presumably. As I saw somebody buy it, but I think they might have accidentally refunded it. Or not accidentally, but they might have refunded it, choosing instead to go for full rifles. And either the operator's just been lost somewhere, Germ isn't buying any. Oh no, he's gonna go for the knives. That's what's happening. So yeah, presumably Op sold back to the market. They don't really need it anymore. Germ just wants to run with the knives out this round and make it a little easier to save some of that money in the process of getting a very solid buy round.
They lost the op in the bushes, so they're all searching for it just in spawn. No, that would be good, but like you said, the knives are even better. Can add some nice kill pressure, and if you get those kills, can't reset that knife ultimate. Toascree, though, knives in the back pocket, but no life to work with. Was taken down off of a couple of chip shots, and then that 62 HP easily chunked down here. So MimicGG starting to play a disadvantage. Germ is so far up here actually in courtyard with the knives, but I think they know the location. Got to be careful here. Takes window control, just playing these nice head peeks, saying, you want to contest me, walk out and play it.
If you want to contest me, then act like it. If you want to go for this contest, it's not going to be easy. It's a very hotly contested fight inside of middle, and it's incredibly hotly contested by both sides, but the only one who seems to be winning every single contest is Jinx. Able to get even more kills added onto the board. Best Buy employee eventually able to get the last. Clay was there in case they needed to flank, but it's not necessary. And the attacking side will take a pretty solid round and not quite be able to do anything with it, as the defense eventually able to come back and make it look rather simple in the process of doing so. They remain at the advantage. Test yet to give up in this one. It's a lot less dominant of a start than they had in the last map, but I like what I'm seeing. Considering they're starting on defense, we could be looking at a very solid map for them.
Yep. Could be good, like you said, a little bit attacker side favored, being down. Not the greatest feeling right now. Knives from Toascree, only bought into the classic. We'll have a little bit of a stun from that aftershock, so walking through does have to be a little bit careful. There's a shorty waiting for that ultimate. Immediately countered out Germ. What a beautiful call there to sit deep into sewers and take down that ultimate right out of the field. That Aldro can be shot out of the air. There's a heavy presence towards A, and Germ's got a heavy bullet in your chest. Clay's got another. A huge player disadvantage. Another kill. Germ, a 3K with this operator and shorty combo. Beaver might be able to get one back, but now you're just in no man's land all by yourself. The pincer is coming in as well. A shorty might be your demise. It'll actually just be the rifle. Kip, beautiful shot, and Test now up to 6.
Test have at the very least secured an even half, which, depending on what team you are, in Haven, of all maps, an even half coming out of your defense isn't too bad at all, honestly. It might even be better considering how good they looked on their attacking half when we saw them earlier today on Ascent. But also when you consider how uninspired they looked on their attacking half last map, you're not really sure how to feel, honestly. This is a team that has been volatile in their attacking half. So we've seen 2 from them. One of them, they lost maybe 2 rounds. The other one, they didn't even win 2 rounds. So it's safe to say we're staring at a team that is not really the kind of team that is going to keep things close in an attacking half, at least, as they haven't been able to do that thus far. But they've been keeping it very close and consistently staying at an advantage through their defensive half. So maybe they'll be able to just do just that. Next half is already close to getting either player on either end of it. Either breach nearly going down, but eventually both of them fall away, and nobody's even so much as taken any damage. So just about as anticlimactic a fight as you'll ever see. Stick's a little bit worse for wear on HP, lower down to 69, but everybody else in the lobby still full.
Everybody's still full on the HP bars as they still try to play this default setup, still try and grab as much information. But while they've been doing that, Test has been taking space here through Garage, through C Long here. Best Buy employee, that space is going to net them a kill. But now the player's kind of out of position for this A rotate. They're just going to walk in for absolutely free here. The plant is going to go down. It's going to be the Hunter's Fury to try and stall for as much time as possible. That plant does get down. Phalanx will pay for it with their life here. And Test should be able to have a 5v3 retake with so much information.
Good kill there from Toascree to keep things going, at least get something going for the attack, but it's not really much. As the bomb site's under siege, but it's the team that held the bomb site at the start of the round putting it under siege now, and Germ gonna get that final kill with the shorty. Phenomenal retake. You just win your gunfights. It's as simple as that. Test now, confirming they will win this half, but can they make it 8 rounds, or are they gonna get shut down at 7?
The good news is they don't have to face a Kirsch. You know, they don't have to face any bronze players. They're good. They don't have to face the 9-3. But yeah, like you said, one more round in the half for us here. Again, the funds, you use them or you lose them. The ultimates, same thing for those as well. So I expect both of these lockdowns to be invested at different points. That Omen could also make some plays with that one. But exciting to see. I mean, Toscreen not having the greatest half, I would say. Still top fragging here, 10-10 though. Would love to see it get a little bit higher. Close match here. And we'll see what MimicGG does on their last round before the half. It looks like they are just trying to grab some information, but as that happens, they're running right through the barrage. Vroom here. Toscreen gonna try and dodge on through. Nice dash there. Takes down Kip along the way. The counter jet dashing as well. The classic takes down the operator. Best Buy employee, though, able to take a triple. Stalling for so much time. It's going to be a 2v2. The pincer, though, is coming in.
Pinch coming back in. Best Buy is about to catch 2 in the worst possible position. Makes it an ace for himself. And a clean double kill at the end to secure it for the Omen.
Switching
Beautiful
sides.
round with that Phantom. That is good as any. And an 8th round now for Test. We saw them lose in 9-3 half once they got onto the attacking side. Different map. They look really strong coming into halftime this time, whereas last time they looked a little bit shaky. Very different position, but I would say it looks a little bit better for them in this instance. However, we still need to remain faithful to Mimic, because if there's anything they've shown us over the recent weeks and even months, perhaps, it's that you can never count them out of any game they are involved in.
Definitely cannot. Obviously coming back off of the last map, but like you said, gonna be a little bit harder here if Test can throw some nice interesting things at them on the offensive side, can change it up a little bit here. We could be going to map number 3 again. As a reminder, Mimic already with the first map under their belt here, so one more would mean they would be taking the tournament in itself. Phalanx, though, taking the first blood, the first kill of this half, and it is on to Germ, a pretty integral player on the other side, so to take down that fighting power is gonna be huge. Kip, though, gonna be able to equalize it out very quickly. The sight take is gonna be trying fast. Sticks and company pick up 2 as MimicGG, the offense, the pistol round looking good here. A 3v1 as those ghosts do so much damage there. There you go. Defenders win and Mimic get to 5.
Great start to the half for Mimic. Exactly what they needed. Something to get back on the board. Show that they are still alive and make sure that everyone watching, everyone on the other team, everyone producing, just everybody who's even somewhat cares about this game knows that Mimic cannot be countered out of it. They know if they watch the last map. We know. I know you know, Lana. You've cast this team plenty of times. They've made some very great things happen, but I will say this has been a very good effort regardless from Test to put a challenge towards the other team that we haven't seen many teams do to Mimic. But now it looks like they're going to try and make this challenge again at the seaside, as many defenders here for Mimic could possibly be exactly what they want to happen. It looks like that's the side of, if any, they would want the other team to go in a C, and it's exactly what's happening. That's going pretty well for them. Pelt with 1, a big kill from Phalanx as well. Pelt another, and it's just starting off so strong. It's only Kip and Germ, but they faked things out. They've gotten a spike plant down on the other site. So, well, not the other site, because there's 2 others, but spike plant on A could possibly be a really cool clutch play, but he's going to have to do it alone.
Yeah, Kip only with a Sheriff to work with here. Aldrone is going to lead the way here. Definitely sense you out on the sensors. It does actually hit the bolt there, so they'll have full information on where Kip is going to be. They'll send 3 players in. Pelt will pick up a 4K as well to end off the round, and it is going to be another win for MimicGG here as they go back-to-back at the start of the round. As expected, you know, you win the pistol, you're able to invest a little bit healthier into that second round. So 6-8 will be that scoreline. I just gotta say, Germ and the Shorty, name a better combo.
He's just been consistently able to kill people with that thing. It is crazy. Never have I ever thought that the Shorty can stand up to many other guns in this game. But honestly, Germ is making me a believer. He's done so well with it time and time again. I'm starting to believe in the Shorty magic, especially when it's paired with his operator. Germ has looked phenomenal. in rounds where he's been allowed to cook with the op and shorty in hand, but it was a really good job from the attacking side to just consistently avoid running into that operator. They weren't able to get too many rounds off the back of avoiding said operator, but a notable lack of kills for Germ, considering how well he played when he was challenged. But Pelt and Toskri are the two players on the attacking or the defensive side that are involved in the kill feed. One of them on the right side, one of them the wrong side. Toskri dead, Germ and Jinx dead though. Big kill for Beaver to trade back. Inside a lobby, it's a massacre and it's all going the way of the Sova. That is until he's gotten 3, he's reached his maximum. He's not allowed to get any more, but it's only now left to Clay as the opposing Sova will need to get 3 of his own to mirror the likes of the one on the other side of the server and also just win this round for his team.
Yeah, Felix only has 28 HP, so maybe doable, but they are rotating. They hear the footsteps. Clay will pick up the first. Has clutched before. The second kill is there. The third kill on this round. It is going to be the nice stun, but Clay clutches it. Oh, boy. It's the plant as well. Why don't you? What a clutch round.
Making the extra money. What a phenomenal round.
By one.
Just insanely good. How did he win that?
I don't know.
Again.
Mastermind. Oh, Lord. Nonetheless, Tess, that is 9 rounds for them. It'll be the first one of this half, as kind of expected as the third round of the half going their way. Now, MimicGG, though, on their side, they do have a little bit of an ultimate advantage. Both teams with that Hunter's Fury in their back pocket. Right now, though, MimicGG just waiting, slowing it down a little bit. The same going to be done for Test, as they look like they kind of want to go towards A here so far, but there are so many players from Mimic pushing up very heavily with that Owl drone to lead them. They're going to grab some information here, and no one really gained any space from Mimic. Up into that, they might find it here. They might find some kills. They might find the backside rotate.
This is a weird defensive setup, but I like all the presence out in A lobby, because that means that the other team's going to have a hard time taking it. And with that one spot, you can now make it so that you can stack the other sites. But they're not actually going to do that. They still have 2 towards A lobby, not just 1. But now they're going to start to go for the flank. As the angles close in, it should get better and better. Toskri with the flank gets 1 kill. Pelt with a kill. Hunter's Fury was able to find a kill in the process as well. Kip able to get a kill, and also Spike Plant dropped, so the attackers have some things to play with in this round, but the number of things in their arsenal are dropping by the second, as it's only Clay, and once again, he'll need to drop 3. Was up to the task in last round, but this time around, Test will fall all one by one, and though they were able to get an attacking round of the board, it's another one for the defense's Mimic, bring it to within 2 rounds, the closest we've seen this game in quite a little while.
Yeah, Mimic doing Mimic things, always bringing it back on the comeback. I gotta say, B is the worst site to hit there if you're the attackers with that setup from the defense, because they're rotating back. I feel like you know. I feel like you have that information that they're going through A long, but you know, just not playing off it, going towards B, where again, there's so many angles you can approach from and get shut down almost immediately. MimicGG, like you said, now on to 7. Both lockdowns up and available, and the weaponry is aplenty in their back pocket. So it's just gonna be a Marshall from Kip, some Sheriff, some Shorties, again, Germ, showcasing the beautiful abilities of that gun.
Who but Germ to do it again, right? Got the Shorty in hand, and honestly, this is like a full buy for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he buys Shorties into full buy rounds from now on with how consistently well he's been doing.
Shorty.
Even on the attacking side, he's able to close the distance with the jet dash, and that makes it so much easier. That tailwind allows you to be able to take closer range engagements where usually with other agents you wouldn't be able to, but Pelt from long range is able to take down Clay quickly, and what? Somebody check his PC. Somebody check Felix's PC. What on earth did I just see?
Oh, murder.
What?
Murder sheet.
What? He only shot in 1 spot.
Beautiful. That's what it is.
Insane.
MimicGG, the round beautiful for them as well. Health 3K, I mean, yeah, just some dirty plays that round. MimicGG, they'll take the dub. Speechless. I think both of us are.
Yeah, honestly, that was a great shot. It wasn't even necessarily the most predictable positions. It wasn't like he just pre-fired straight into the corner. He just shot some bullets and was like, why not? Hail Mary. And it got a kill. Great frag to find. And that was shutting down a Germ player with a Shorty who we know is very dangerous when he has that Shorty. Holding a close angle. if you pushed that, you weren't winning that fight. So you needed to get a kill through that wall, or at least use some util, but I don't really think Felix in that instance wanted to use the util, did he? He just wanted to get that kill through the wall, and he gets exactly what he wants. Germ almost able to catch one early, but now caught out by the breach util, slow down for a little bit, is concussed, but eventually able to push through, and it looks like they've got B site to themselves as Germ almost able to get a single kill, starts it off with a frag. Clay gets another as well, and for the first round in a little while, the attack looks very good off the start, but they're actually wrapping this into A as Clay gets another.
Yeah, the double bubble of trouble gets nothing here, but Tess, they are getting everything. 4 kills already in Clay. Watching for the flank, sniffs it out here. Yeah, Pelt. Oh, on the other way. You didn't even realize there. walking the other way down through sewers there. Pelt will try and pull off a miraculous 1v5, but Jings might have been the player to have their number. Not this time. Wrong number. Call back a different time for Pelt. Have to go back. Maybe saving would be the play here. 4v1. I don't think you're going to win this. Not going to lie.
I don't either, honestly. I don't want to call anything too soon, you know, but it's a sneaking suspicion, you know. Call it my Valorant analyst instincts of just being the smartest Valorant player that's ever been alive, but I don't really think he's got much of a chance here. As fortunately for the attackers, they're not going to be challenged too heavily in getting that spike plant down, and getting it all the way through is Pelt keeps himself alive. He's relatively happy with that, but not totally happy with it. Is they're allowing the other team to get attacking rounds on the board, which is something they weren't really allowed towards the end of the half. They've got to even things out at 10 rounds apiece, and then you can start to maybe eco a little bit more safely. But right now, if they lose this next round, it is a very tough spot for Mimic to be in.
It's probably GG's, honestly, for the map, I gotta say. You got no ultimates here.
It's very close. It's 12-8 at least.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not feeling good, but nonetheless, this round will be a make or break one for them, and Germ has got the knives. No, maybe a shorty in the back pocket. Not 100% sure just yet. Jinx and company, also, they have some ultimates ready to push if this attack can find some space. Germ going to find space onto Styx' body with those knives, taking down the first kill, and this plant is coming through very quickly. Diving up, misses the knives though, and Toaskery gets the jet on jet violence kill there. Toaskery a second will get traded out of 3v3 though. The Hunter's Fury is flying out. Kip on the backside shuts down the operator that was purchased by Phalanx here. Now a 3v1. Sova's got to do it all. The smoke blocks so much of this area here. Best Buy employee paying inflation doesn't have to do it. Beaver gets the first kill. We'll look in the backside here. So many angles on this B site. Where are you going to look? Clay has clutched up before. Not this time. Beaver. 3K possibility. The little dart. Oh, Kip the BM. Come on.
You're kidding. He almost lost that. He actually gave an opportunity. He didn't actually hit the first shot the way that he thought he was going to. But even if he lost that gunfight, there wasn't too much time. It just generally wasn't really a winnable situation for Beaver. A very valiant effort, but now that's 11 rounds. An eco for the defensive side should be 12 on paper. Should be. Not guaranteed. It's not set to be. No.
Don't mention paper. Don't.
Toasker is going to make me regret thinking that he could be pinned down on paper, as he's actually invested fully in this round. He's got only 350 credits left because he wanted to go light armor Vandal, convinced he can put the team on his back this time around. But the attack is trying to run straight into A and not nearly enough of a contest on that site. It'll be a free spike plant for the attack with better weapons in a 5-on-5. Make it 5-on-4 as Clay gets that kill. It's looking rough for the defense.
Looking rough here. Beaver will just try to spray through the floor there. Kip gonna pick up the next kill. The counter KJ dead and dusted on the ground. 5v3, make it 5v2. These rifles have to do something, and they do absolutely nothing. A flawless round from Test. They get themselves onto 12, and I think the only real thing is Toaskery. Yes, you have the knives, so you'll still have that for this round, but now it is must win from here on out. Test, they are on map point. If they take one more round, we're going to a third map.
Test. Have hit 12 rounds. We've hit 12 o'clock AM here on the eastern seaboard where I am currently residing.
Same.
And now we need to... There we go. Learn something new every day. But now we need 4 rounds in a row for Mimic if they want to take this in 2-0 fashion. And they've been taking so many of these whiteouts, but guess who's taking the first pick? It's Germ. Not a shorty. Not what we would have maybe liked to see, but able to get that first kill initially anyways. Good start off, but Styx and Toascree have other ideas. Felix with the Odin, but he's jumping way too high, and he's caught out by Jinx in the process of that. Toascree and Styx now need to do it alone for the defense. Styx pushing through the swarm, caught out by Clay. Jinx with another around in a map for Test. They are up to the test indeed, as they get up to 1 map win for themselves, and now we have to do it in 3 full maps.
Yeah, we get we started with the best of 3. Now we just get to a best of 1. 1 more map to decide it between these two. Gotta say, though, really good job from Test. We talk about it. It's really, a more attacker-sided map. So for them to get so many rounds on the defense and then show up equally on the attack, I feel like felt so good for them. Mimic had a good map as well, still getting 8 rounds on the board, but just beat them by just a little bit more.
Just a little bit. Just that bit of margin that was there made all the difference. Really good map from Kip. Love to see that. But just generally across the board, solid performances from everybody. Styx a little bit further below than the rest. The only person, unfortunately, to not make it into double digits is only landing on 5 kills. Did get a couple plants down, so definitely putting in some work for the team. But talking about those first bloods, look at how evenly spread that is. There are 2 players across every single one of the players in the lobby that didn't get at least 1 first blood. That didn't get at least 1 first blood. There are only 3 players that didn't get multiple first bloods. That is crazy. 2-2-3 or 2-2-2, 3-3-4-4 is the leaderboard for first bloods in that game, with Kip getting 4 and Germ being tied for that same number at 4 as well. That is an insane scoreboard.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, and I think it just goes to show just the versatility there of, our squad of Test. That Germ, we were talking about them all game long. They're sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. They were still making differences, right? That shorty was showing us that it was their weapon of choice, but the shorty was making differences. The whole team together, I gotta say, was working so good, and now they get to send it to a map number 3. We talked about it. Very few teams to get to take a map off of Mimic, and now you get to go to a map 3 for possibly taking a championship away from them.
Would be a big deal as we go to the decider between these two. It'll be a Ascent on the next one, but we do have a break before we get to it. Gotta let the players get all ready and set to go in the lobby. But when we come back, it's the final map of this week's Whiteout Weekly between Test and MimicGG. You won't want to go anywhere, as it'll be a fun last one.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. Control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. start this conversation. We got no relation.
And we are back after that short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Frost Esports. Still here with our Thursday weekly Valorant $100 tournament brought to you by Trolley. And we are moving into the final map of the night. It had to go to 3. We wanted it to go to 3. And now we're here for the most exciting match.
Finally back from the world's shortest break, if I do say so myself. Maybe not literally the shortest one, but it's up there. It was pretty quick, and already players letting us know we gotta get going, so why make them wait as we hop into Ascent. And the last 2 maps have been very, very close. Every map we've seen tonight has been quite close, but the closest 2 that we've seen of the 3 have been through this grand final already. A 13-8 that was incredibly close until the very end when Test kind of went on a little bit of a run, and Mimic's phenomenal comeback from down 7-0 after 7 rounds. From down 9-3 after the first half, they make that comeback on Bind. Phenomenal map there, a very good one to follow it up as well. And now we go to Ascent, which, if the last 2 have been any indication, is going to be a banger. It's going to go for quite a long time, and we will be up very late. But you know what? That's the sacrifices you make to watch some fun Frost Valorant.
I mean, it's definitely worth it, and we're on Ascent. It's another kind of, I wouldn't say, you know, it's one of the older maps, right? It's one that everybody knows. The strategy is pretty much up and available for everybody. So I think we're gonna probably see again the same compositions, right? They're gonna match. They're gonna show us again. It's like you said, the best team is going to win. The best team has won 2 maps in a row, and now the best team is going to win the tournament with this map right here.
Yeah, but is the best team the Best Buy employees squad, or will it be the other team? Will it be MimicGG? Who knows? Exactly. Is Mimic an ironic name, of course, as we've seen them mimic the other team's operator or agent lineup so many times tonight. We've already seen it 2 times, and we're going to see it 3rd, because why not? Go into Ascent, and this is a map we've already seen test on earlier tonight. They won it pretty convincingly, and point out in particular, they were very good on the attacking side. They're starting off on defense here. Don't know how we feel about this. Do you think it's going to be good for them starting off on the side that they were a little bit weaker on to possibly make a comeback? And if they get enough rounds here and there, they'll be able to make a very good show of their attack, possibly yet again? Or do you think it'd be a little better if they started off with that attack, were able to get out of the gates kind of hot, or just if they didn't do well on attack, then they're just kind of in a rough spot and there's not much of a chance at a comeback?
I feel it would have been better for them on attack, but, you know, it's what you got to deal with, right? You're going to start on the defense. I think Toscree didn't have the greatest map last map, and if they can have one, this one can start it out good, but started off good. Some good trades already. 1, 2, 3. 3 players dead. Make it 4. 3v3 up on the board. Here's Best Buy employee walking out really far into main here. Actually going to get super aggressive. Kip has the patience to wait. Test. Player advantage. A triple for the Best Buy employee. And they'll take the pistol.
Much more than just a player advantage, the Best Buy employee advantage as well, as he's made every single purchase along that one, and well, the purchases he made, clearly working in the industry he does, he knows quite a lot about purchasing technology and just making different economic decisions because he gets the absolute most out of every single credit he invested in that last round, and they get a round as a result. A really solid pistol round. I don't think they were able to win their pistol last time they played this map. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I have the gut feeling that they didn't win it because they kind of came to life towards the end. But it's still a very good round to... They honestly, yeah, losing both sounds right, but Germ's able to get a couple very quickly. Clay with one more, and now not only are they able to win the pistol, they're able to win the next round. Germ swings wide, gets the third kill, and regardless of what pistol it is, it's not his signature shorty, but he's still got 3 kills with it. Same.
And Germ goes nuts there with the Sheriff. Lovely stuff to see. You like to see it. Triple kill there for Test. And now it gets to the tough round for them because like we talked about, as usual, you win the pistol, you get a little bit extra funds, but then you don't have the same amount of funds going into round number 3. So for Mimic, should have some nice rifles to buy into. It looks like Test will be picking up a couple maybe of their own, maybe a Bulldog and a Sheriff sticking there for Jings. But we'll see. So far, Mimic not able to break through this defense. Maybe it is this round right here. Maybe it's through this B main area where they did suffer a couple of consequences of a pretty aggressive walkout Germ. Once again, the Sheriff does not miss. Taking down Toastry, such a big player to take down Sticks. Picks up a double there and taking down the opposing Jet. Gotta watch for Boathouse. Always that 50-50. There you go. Peltman to take one down, but they suffer so many casualties walking in.
That's tough. We saw so many times the B site was just really rough to actually get into. Last time we watched this map, would seem the same thing is still the case here, because the attackers have a tough time actually getting in, and once they're able to break the mold, so to say, they actually just get shut down by Best Buy, who was playing very passively towards Staircase and gets 2 quick ones. A really good start to this map from Best Buy employee. 3 kills in the first round, 2 kills in the last, and only 6 kills on the other team as a whole. Jerem's got 6 on his own. Really rough start for Mimic, and that was their full buy round into not the greatest of weapons on the defensive side, and they still lose it. This is a team that was able to win Ascent cleanly last time they played it. We saw them play it without a good defensive half, and now they're off to a great start, and they're off to a pretty good start in this round too, but it's being traded out quite well by the attackers. As Mimic have made it a 3-on-3. They're keeping it close, and now they might want to push themselves towards B.
Yeah, pushing towards B here. Importantly, they did take down Germ, so that Bladestorm is not going to be available. Nice shot there from Pelt. And again, the inferior weaponry is getting them some kills here. And also, is also going to be a late rotate from their Jet. Toascree will be walking in here, watching. Nice kill there, taking down Jing in mid. And now it's a 3v1. Where do you walk? Where do you look? So many angles to do so. It'll be a trade somehow. Best Buy, an unfortunate scenario. It'll be Toascree at the end of it to pick up the Thrifty. Again, not real good weapons, but they find a way to get it done.
Figured that would have been a 4th for Test. But a great round from Mimic. I love to see the comeback there, because if they start to go down too early, they don't get players like Toascree and Phalanx who have been so good tonight. If they don't get them off to a hot start, then it could be not over before it began, but it could be too big of a deficit for them to make a comeback. Toascree finally hopping on the board in a big way. Phalanx as well, tied with them in kills at 3, and both of them pitching in pretty strongly in that last round. The contributions they made, as well as those of their teammates, good enough to take a pretty convincing round, and they're looking to contribute to the A push this time. Early presence inside of the site, and nobody on the objective itself for the defense, as Kip, the only one kind of close, has to fade away as the Omen fragment, or the KO fragment's going to push him out. 2 kills in a row from Sticks and Toascree, making another for Toast. And almost able to get back into this site. Get killed for Jinx, though. Phalanx trades, and it's only left to one inside of Heaven. Toascree with a good headshot and a good round of the attack.
No charges.
Yeah, triple for Toascree. That is huge. They did pop their bubble of trouble, so no lockdown for the further. And the lockdown was picked up here from the side of Kip, so they'll have that in advantage. But this is the dangerous thing I was talking about. Yes, it's good for Test to get some rounds early, but if Toascree can get off the ground, I mean, we literally saw map 1 them drop a 30 bomb. Like, if you let this player start to get some ground, like, you're never getting it back. You're never going to find a way back into the game, I feel like. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, it would seem that Toascree's already getting a lot of ground. After a rough start, the past 2 rounds have been so good for him that he's already tied with the second most kills on the other team, almost at as many as Best Buy, and with that frag, he's got as many as Best Buy does, but Best Buy has other plans, takes him down, 2 kills from Phalanx. Trade out though from Jinx is going to make sure that we keep it close. And although that's an attempt at keeping it close, not getting that second kill is going to make sure that it's not quite even. 2-on-2, as Best Buy employee has ulted over to the opposite side, wants to get into the objective and play that boathouse position before the other team's able to get in. Spike's still very far away. Is Best Buy gonna try and remove the players lurking towards this site? About to come to blows with Phalanx, almost able to get that kill, but ducking behind cover is the Killjoy. Now Best Buy gonna have to hold out alone against a couple of attackers coming through.
Phalanx has like no HP though. That's the most important thing, and time is ticking down for these attackers. It is only Best Buy. They can go for the clutch here. Phalanx, the lowest member, will be taken down by a couple of bullets, but now 12 HP. Best Buy employee checking back for the spawn. A little bit awkward right now for MimicGG as they regroup. It does look like they're just going to full rotate over towards A, and the plant is going to be in such a nice spot too. Again, this is such a safe spot for them. Nice and out in the open. The owl drone as well from Beaver should be able to clear out some of these heaven angles. Won't be able to see the player, but I think they can kind of assume, you know, where they are going to be coming from. They're both going to stick themselves down in hell. Both try and chill down here for a moment. Neither of them having full shields. Nobody really right now in the lobby having good HP to work with. So going to be the Shadow. The teleport onto it is going to tap it once here. They'll send out the shock dart to grab some information. Beaver, nice shot. Only 12 HP to cut down, but did it anyways, and MimicGG will get this scoreline right back to tied.
3 rounds from Mimic to respond to the 3 to open it up from test, test, test. And a very resounding set of rounds they've found is now they've forced test, test, test onto a very uncomfortable buy in this upcoming round. Spectre to Sheriffs, Stinger, and Bulldog. SMGs, some weaker guns that can still do good work at range, but not quite to the effectiveness level of those Phantoms and Vandals, so it could still be a 4th, and they found the site they want to take advantage of. They love this A objective. It's been doing them well before. They're hoping it'll do them well here again.
Crossfire, though, from Jings and Best Buy here. Sees the dash out, but Toaskry's got your number. How about 2 numbers? Call an ambulance, man. Pelt has got another 4v2. The plant is quick. The take is quick here, and Toaskry should be able to watch that angle. Clay, though, has the Bulldog to do some work here. Has clutched up before. Shots through the wall. Clay will make you pay. We'll get one back. Not a lot of HP to work with at the moment. Phalanx has got the angle. There you go. Gets the final shot, and Mimic will retake the lead.
Jeez, Toaskry is the most attractive dude at the bar. The way he's just got so many numbers at this point. Crazy entry from Toaskry. The initial kill through the smoke, that's when you just kind of head in your hands, throwing your hands up from the mouse and keyboard. Like, what do I even do? Like, how do I fight back against that? It's just unlucky. 2 big kills from Toaskry. Great round from Phalanx as well. Always there to get even more kills, trading out his entry so effectively. Even when Toaskry doesn't have the best entries in and of himself, Phalanx with great rounds. Sticks and Pelt are pitching in where they need to, getting kills, as they haven't made too many mistakes through this map. Once they've come to life, that is, they have been, every single player, doing the roles they need to round in and round out, but this time around it looks like they're actually going to push towards Catwalk, which is exactly where so many defenders, a couple of defenders, are waiting for the push to come through, but Jinx is caught out early. His own flashbang works against him. Great shot from Germ, though. Takes down Toaskry fast. Hunter's Fury can't kill this guy. He's gonna get out alive if he has anything to say about it, but unfortunately, the ult from the Sova and the angle from Phalanx are enough to take him down, but Phalanx taken down right after. As with a minute to go, it's a 3-on-2, but it somehow favors the defense, thanks to a phenomenal outplay from Germ.
Yeah, that was lovely there on Catwalk, dipping and dodging around the flash. Didn't look like it started to work, but now we see how the play is going to work. It looks like Mimic, they want to dive into this A site again. Like you said, it's worked for them before. Beaver taking the first kill. Very important. Clay, though, up on this heaven angle, is going to shoot the shot out here. Well, should be able to grab some information. There you go. Able to see the player destroy the bold, but now the plant will come through. Very safe location once again, but that Killjoy, the lockdown is here. You better get out of sight, or or you are going to be detained, which is definitely not something you want in a 1v2. Is going to be rotating up towards window. Sees the lockdown, destroys it first. Both players line up. Clay gets the kill. That was scary.
Very nearly. Incredibly scary. But fortunately, we will avoid heart attacks. And fortunately for Test, they lose a lot of rounds in a row, but they're able to get back on track. And 4-on-4, how else could you have asked for this final map to go? These two teams have been neck and neck through and through multiple maps. How else could you have asked for this one to go? You couldn't have asked for a more clean, fitting conclusion, at least based on the first half. Still plenty more Valorant to go. One of these teams could easily run away with it from this point on, but something tells me that might not really be what happens.
I also do gotta say, like, in a solo play there, it's nice to get the lockdown pulled out. Like, you're not really expecting that. They have a 2-player advantage, so to get the lockdown feels good as well. Now you have that lockdown advantage in your favor, but yeah, like you said, could not have wanted it any other way between these two teams, tied up 4-4. One of them will be able to take the advantage here. Toascree looking for the dive on forward. Once again, they're going to use that lockdown advantage right here, right now on A. Germ, though, the massacre is here. It's flawless, so quick, and Germ, a 3K.
Every single player on that site pitched in for at least 3 of those kills. Germ got 3, Best Buy got 2, and then was credited with assists for at least 1, if not 2 or 3. And then Jinx was credited with at least 3 of those assists, the 3 final kills in that round that were found. The KO was right next to the kill icon of the agent that got that kill every single time. Just great use of team play there. Everybody prepped and ready for the same kind of entry play. And it took so many rounds of Toascree just doing just that, running in, dashing into that smoke with an entry, but he's finally shut down, and this round, he demands, get out of my way, but Germ has many other ideas, says, get out of my way, then gets another kill onto Beaver with the flash assist from the KO from way downtown, and a 5-on-2 already, as it's only Sticks and Pelt who could possibly pull this back to even. It doesn't look the most likely, and Best Buy gonna make it even less likely, as he takes 2 kills of his own, only 1 kill found in that whole round for Mimic, and again, it's Test who are the ones on a streak this time around. That's their 3rd round in a row to put themselves up 6-4.
I think Kip described that round best in the chat. :D. There you go. Just tongue out there, because the A push, it was working fast, like you said, for a while, but shutting down Toascree now a couple rounds in a row, feeling good for Test. And likely, we do got to mention 2 rounds away from the swap. Once we swap, you know, it's the final half of the tournament, so a very important one at that. But going into this round number 11, Mimic, they would love to go equal 6-6, but this is a very important round to do so.
Incredibly important. If you let this one go, then, well, you don't have too much money to go into the final. That could very likely end up in 8-4. You will force up, but you will not have all the util guns and armor that you could ask for. And that's a really bad start. Best Buy employee able to knock 2 down a peg, knocks the whole team down a couple of pegs, and leaves them in a very weird spot. They've got to pick up the pieces from now. And, well, the A pushes were doing them so well early on in this game, but the more we've seen them do it, the less and less it has worked. It was almost a flawless last round. This round, not quite a flawless either, but it looks very, very good for the defensive side, as Test might just be able to secure that 7th if they can win this 2-on-4.
Yeah, 2-on-4. Importantly for Mimic, they at least have some tools at their disposal. They have the spike. They have some different angles to play with here. It looks like they're still favoring A. I mean, still 3 players sitting there. Beaver might be the player to do it, though. Pell gonna be walking through tree. Face some resistance there. Germ will get the final kill. Beaver picks up 2, but it's just not enough. Again, they're just waiting for these A angles. Like you said, they know what's happening.
Really just not doing much of anything these past few rounds have Mimic been. Could just be a really good defensive start for Test, but this is a team that, bringing it up again just because it's important to harp on this because it's so relevant. Last time we saw them on this map, they weren't lights out on the defensive side. They were lights out once they got onto attack. They looked really good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mimic have just spent so many rounds doing the same thing in a row that the last 4 rounds they've lost in pretty much the same exact fashion every time. They finally changed it up though, and now it seems to be bearing fruits for them. Big Hunter's Fury kill from Beaver. Jinx able to get 1 at Sticks though, so Not quite flawless for the attack, but pretty darn close to it. They've only lost 1, and they've killed 3 already. Presence in the site now allowed to them, but Germ gonna get one with the knives. Not quite able to get any more, though, and now it's just left up to Best Buy alone at the end of the half against the world, and shot through the wall, headshot through the wall by the Odin hipfire. Insanely random kill to get, but you get it anyways. You'll take that for you were gonna find it anyways. And Mimic are at least able to stem the bleeding just a bit towards the end of the half as they bring themselves back to within 2 rounds as we see the sides swap.
Yep, swap here, and like we said, probably the last swap we will see unless we go to overtime. That'd be fun, you know, in overtime.
And we'll see a lot of swaps.
We'll see a lot of swaps, yeah, to finish out our map at 3. But yeah, I feel like Toscree shut down a little bit that A push. They just knew it every single time. They finally changed up to B, and it works. So we'll see what they can do on the defense here for MimicGG. They are walking in 2 rounds down, so would love to get a pistol round here. Test took the first one. Would be nice if you could take one here.
It would be very nice. But if Tess can't take it, then Mimic, starting things off with a round of their own, might be able to pull that into another one then. If we stand at 7-7, that could be very interesting. But Test, already up middle. We didn't see them utilize middle a lot last time we saw them on Ascent. This time, though, they're already making good on the missed opportunities of last map, and they're going to run straight into the site. Caught from the corner, though, and Felix, the patience indeed. The best trigger discipline of all, but Clay, with 2 kills of his own in response, makes it a 3-on-3. Control the site enough to get a spike plant down, and in the 3 versus 3, it'll be 2 coming from defender spawn and 1 coming in from mid. It'll have to be the play out market for him. Toscree taking down quite a lot of HP and almost killed, but still decent opportunities for Mimic coming into this site. Big kill for Toscree, traded out by Kip though, as he's ever present inside of A main. Or inside of B main, rather, as Pelt trying to move forward, but Kip has caught out his teammate, and now he's got 2 kills to find. They're both low, but he kind of is as well. Gonna force the peek, get that kill, smoke off the side, rather smoke off himself, but no matter where he's smoking, Kip will get the kill before it can even be popped. A 3K for the KJ, and an 8th round for Test.
Yeah, that one just kind of hurts. I mean, Phaelix started with such a good play there. The patience play takes out 2. The boathouse, though, not able to anchor for long enough. And it, you know, at the end of the day, there's only 1 player standing. So very close, but, you know, close does not tell you what the scoreboard is saying, right? That's another round for Test. Like you said, it's probably going to be back-to-back ones here. And, you know, if we're thinking about that, that's 9-5 unless MimicGG can pull some crazy tricks here.
This is not looking great. They've been in better situations, Mimic, but as we learned in map 1, never count them out. Never count Toscree out either. What a phenomenal couple of shots. Hits him down to 1 HP that far away, and then through the wall with the finisher. Just styling on Germ, saying, I am the better Jet, no matter who may be winning on the scoreboard itself, whose team may be up a little bit, and that might just be the revitalizing kill that his teammates needed, but Clay is going to strike back with a kill of his own. Beaver now down in a 4-on-4. His plant should be good to go down here for the attackers, and Kip's caught sticks out in a really rough spot. Best Buy with another one. Missed shots from Pelt, and he's punished, and now it's only 1 player. It looked so promising to start with, but now it's Felix alone against 4. He's getting shot at from the, he's getting shots in from the side, but eventually he's flashed off, and Best Buy gets that kill.
Yep, everybody flashing everybody there on A. But nonetheless, it's a win for Test. It was expected there for them. Like you said, it was looking kind of crazy. You know, maybe could have converted that off of Toscree's first blood. But now they get to invest. This needs to be a round win for Mimic. Yes, you have a little bit superior weaponry. But on the other side, I mean, you're talking about these players like Best Buy, Germ. They're really already popping off. 4-round advantage. Got to feel good about that. It looks like a heavy B hit. And it could be good. There is a lot of KJ utility, but you know, this could be awesome.
A lot of potential here. I'm seeing a lot of potential. That's a rough start for Kip. Takes a lot of damage on the receiving end of the shock bolt, but could still be a solid attacking round. German very far, but Felix will shut him down just as he did his teammate before. It was Clay to die first, the Jet to die next, Best Buy to get a kill in response. So that's something for the attack, but that's only 1 kill. Best Buy consistently able to get picks, but can he get every single kill? He would need to do just that to prevent the ace from Felix, but he can't do that at all. An ace from Killjoy exactly when it was necessary, not allowing the other squad onto 10 rounds just yet. Mimic remain alive in a set.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Phalanx, I mean, pretty obvious off of that ace having a good half, but I feel like having a good map overall. Phalanx has been the one to be able to anchor, to be able to take those really good gunfights. Right now, topping the team leaderboard, are going to need more from the entirety of the team here. Obviously, 9-6 now. Both teams are going to have rifles to play for, and this gamble stack is not going to work unless they can get the pincer around.
It could possibly go well. Kip almost caught in the middle of a fragment. Would have been tough, but they've got the jet far in again, and they're ready for this flank from Toascree. But you can be ready for him, but that's not nearly enough. You've got to have plenty more security measures in check to possibly deal with that jet. 2 good kills in response, though, as eventually they do deal with the flanking jet, and they deal with Pelt in the back of this site. That's going to make things easier, but that's going to make things harder. That being a kill from Phalanx onto Jinx. And the defender Killjoy coming out. No safe spaces inside of this site. Best Buy either has to kill that Killjoy or kill everybody and somehow get out before he's taken down. But it is an impossible ask. Fantastic ultimate from Phalanx and a great set of kills as well. We'll win that round for the defense and secure a 7th, bringing us back to within 2 rounds.
Yeah, I love that from Mimic. You know, I was a little bit questioning it at first, because if you don't get out fast enough through mid, if you don't get around fast enough through that B main area, it just doesn't work, right? They just get B site for free, and then they have all the defense possible, but that pincer angle, like you said, you can know Toascree is coming, but can you ever be ready for him?
2 very, very different things. Oh, knowing and actually being able to get the kill is very tough. But honestly, we've been sleeping on Phalanx. 18 and 11 thus far. Least deaths of anybody on his team. And top fragging, 2nd most kills of anyone on the server. One of 2 players on the squad, along with Toascree, to still be positive. Beaver trying to get there as he opens up this round with an Odin kill. And again, a very fast push into the B site immediately, but Phalanx will shut down Germ. And it looks like 3rd time is not going to be the charm, as 2 early kills will go to against the attackers. 2 early kills go to the defense on the attacking side. Tries this rush A strat again. But for the 3rd round in a row, it starts off very poorly, but they're actually going to be given a chance at coming back in this one. So, not quite done just yet.
And importantly, they do have the lockdown. Toascree is going to have less health than when they jumped out before. 24 to be exact on the number. Kip will put the turret down. Maybe do some extra chip damage. Like you said, still opportunities, the spike in their hands as well. Going to be traded into the hands of Kip. So into that KJ, who is usually most likely going to rotate last here. Going to detect 1, suppress 1 as well for Sticks here. Missed the shots. Jinx and Kip suddenly making this round very, very doable. Some late rotates up from B. Going to make it an option. No plant down just yet. Kip probably going to plant and then stall for that lockdown.
And try and stall for the lockdown as long as they can. Eventually they'll pop it. Big kill from Best Buy as he'll pop Pelt. Good kill from Phalanx back, but Kip proves to be the better KJ. A double kill, and eventually Test are back in the lead. They hop back into the driver's seat, but this is not at all a stable car environment. The driver's seat and the person in it continues to be changing left and right. A very volatile game in terms of who holds the advantage. But Test are just a little bit ahead for the time being.
Yeah, a little bit ahead, and I mean, that round was 5-3 and then 3-0. So, like, I mean, they won their gun duels. Really good job overall, and a good rotation and getting pressure. Using that lockdown, very good value. Gotta say, no lockdown on the other side, but it's gonna be Knives, Blade Storm here coming through. We'll see. Gonna be diving in quick, actually, as that Hunter's Fury is just gonna try and do some damage. We'll take down the opposing Sova, and it's 3 kills coming into the site for Test. MimicGG, no players here. Once again, full control of site, and the spike down from Test.
They switch it up back to the B site, and it would seem all they had to do was win some attacks elsewhere. Before now, they're forced to give a little bit more respect, Mimic are, to the other attacks these guys have in their arsenal, so they can go back to their homeland of B, and it works just as well as it did the first couple of times through. Toascree has 1 knife left, shoots it blindly through the smoke, eventually able to somehow get that kill on a Best Buy, but 2 kills in response. Both of the trades found by 1 man. That 1 man, of course, is Germ. Doing so well at getting into the site on these attacking rounds thus far. And last round, not even doing well in getting into the site, keeps himself up, gets 2 kills at the end, and now we stand in dominant position for Test. 2 rounds away from dethroning the recurring champions of Whiteout Weeklies in MimicGG.
Yeah, they can see the finish line. One more round and they guarantee themselves overtime. Really performing well. Might have stumbled there for one of the maps, but right now this is the final map. This is the decider here. They are looking good on it so far. Some ultimates up and available on either side for Mimic. Lose a player right out and away. Best Buy employee. Really good job. Gets the first blood. Gets another as well. No toe screen for the rest of the round. And teleporting. Making these plays. A is all theirs.
Your entry dies incredibly fast. And then Styx, who can supplement more entries with those flashbangs, is dead incredibly fast as well. Jinx still up. Getting a kill there. Clay gonna trade that out quickly, but it's just not much going on for this defensive side. Set to be a 12th round. This is match point, and look at the money on the defensive side. Nobody has anything. Mimic has barely any money going into the next one. Every single player has less than 500 credits, or at best 500 credits. Everybody other than Toscree has less than 500, so they need to win this post-plant situation. Beaver shots her off, and he's dead, and the same fate befalls Felix. As another round, the attackers are unstoppable in this instance, and once again, Test proved to be so good on their Ascent attacks, but they need one more. They can lose 4 rounds and still, if they win the next one, they win this out here. A very comfortable position to be sure for TTT.
Yeah, and they got funds for days. They lose a couple rounds, they'll be able to buy right back into them. For Mimic, I mean, not calling a timeout anytime in this game. A little bit surprising, I would say. Don't really want to talk it over. They say they are ready to go. Again, this could be the last round of the tournament. Test. They have proven their mettle. They have made it here, but what can they do down A? We will see. They're dashing to site very quickly. They want to take control before anyone can give it to them. Dashing back. Toscree is dead. Germ, the first blood is huge. Styx get in the trade. Both Jets got to be dead, but Pelt has a massive spray, taking down 3 players. Only the KJ stands.
Pelt hasn't been having phenomenal performances all day, has been doing quite well, but finally with a big shining moment when his team needed it most. And now it's only Kip left in a 1-on-3, seemingly unwinnable, and actually made to be unwinnable by Beaver. But that could not have been more clutch. So now, money not going to be a massive problem. Teammates can work with each other to buy up Vandals and Phantoms here and there. Only going to be a Bulldog on Toscree. Nobody actually able to afford buying him anything better. But Vandals, 1 Bulldog, and a Phantom, that's not so bad, but it doesn't matter. You're not worried about the economy anymore. From here on out, winning every single round. You will be perfectly fine in the economy if you just continue to win rounds here. So you're not worried about it anymore, which is not too bad of a thing, but what is pretty bad is that you need to win 4 consecutive rounds. You cannot make a single mistake in the process of doing that, or else it's the tournament over.
That's a lot of pressure here, but right now a lot of pressure being put on this A site. Germ shut down. Toscree, first blood, second blood, all theirs. Huge kills from MimicGG to open up the round, and now how do they proceed? That spike is down, but the door is open. Clay gets the first kill, but gets immediately traded right on out. Toscree going on a tear. 3K for them, and Best Buy employee, I don't think you can do your job, because Pelt is there to shut you down. Another round for Mimic.
Mimic refused to die. This team will not give up. 2 consecutive rounds of incredibly fast plays attempted and failed by Test. They thought they had this defense figured out. Just run everybody into the site all at once. We'll win eventually, but I don't know if that brute force tactic is necessarily going to reflect well on the scoreboard, because now you have to save. You don't have the money to full invest here, or at least you could technically full invest. This honestly isn't too bad of an investment. Light shields on everybody except for Germ, who's got pretty much everything he could ask for. The only person who's economically not looking great is Clay, and the only person whose gun isn't looking that great this round is Best Buy. So it's not terrible. I've seen plenty worse buys in my day, but still, you haven't had much doing in the last few rounds. But this round seems to be early indications that something's going to change. Spike is being taken towards mid this time. It won't be just a fast rush into the A side, at least not likely, but eventually Germ's going to make his way in and they'll try and do it again.
And they have not learned their lesson, but they're going to try and teach the teachers. Toe screen! First kill once again. 2 kills over towards Mimic. They take that player advantage once more, and A site is theirs. The delay has come through. I mean, KJ stuck all on their lonesome here, running their market. Kip shut down by Beaver, waiting there with an Omen, and it's back into spawn for the remaining 2 players. That Owl drone, they're still a little bit scared that someone is here on A site, but they should be able to full clear it. Clay and company, again, they have the Hunter's Fury, but they have an Omen on half HP. This doesn't look too good.
Does not look phenomenal. And they still have Best Buy up, who only has a Sheriff. Hasn't been able to pick anything better up through this round, but sneaking onto the site into his own dark cover. They don't give him the spike, curiously enough. They're going to force Clay to clear the entirety of flowers and walk, or of tree, and walk forward on his own. Plant that spike, but now they're both underneath in hell, but Beaver's taking him down. They need a 1 versus 4 to possibly win it out. Beaver able to get the kill into Clay after he took down one of his teammates. And how many rounds can you possibly let them win? They are on 3. They're on 3 of the 5 they need. Will they get shut down yet? Because the next round, probably going to have to be it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be... You lose this round, you have pretty much no money on the attacking side. If they lose this round, go into A again, doing whatever they do, then they'll have a really rough bye. The other team will be on so much momentum. Do we see overtime somehow?
Oh, man. I would love it. I would love... These 2 teams deserve it. I mean, I feel like we got to give it to them. Test, though. One more round. You said right here, make or break. Importantly, though, MimicGG, they have the lockdown. They have built up so many rounds in a row that ultimate, the crucial zoning one, is in their back pockets. The duels are going to be important. Toasker, again, with those first bloods, has been popping off so many of these last rounds, though. Garden can be held right now from Phalanx. Just try and hold it. It is going to be that Hunter's Fury. Takes 1 shot. Takes 2 shots. Clay takes Phalanx down. That is no lockdown. It is off of the field. Now, how do they approach this? It looks like they're going to ram their heads once again into this A. Toasker could do some damage. The smoke play. The attacker Killjoy now has the advantage, and that spike is going down.
Toasker just waiting inside the dark cover, about to swing wide, possibly catch somebody off guard, but Germ is ready for it. Jinx now gonna try and push forward, catches one. This flashbang could do everything. They're almost lining up. It's none. Beaver able to keep the team alive, and that could have been crucial. But instead, Test, not quite given the victory just yet. They'll have to work a bit harder for it, as now one caught out by the dart from the drone, as they're just gonna wait behind the boxes, almost killing Germ. Eventually, Pet gets the kill. Best Buy was able to get one though, traded out underneath. 2-on-2. They have the sight. Smoke out there for Pelt on top of the swarm. 2 swarms there. It's not gonna be playable. More shock darts. Big kill from Pelt, but the Sova can just sit in the corner and win his team a championship. The Whiteout Weekly will go to Test. MimicGG will not reign supreme yet again. We have seen a new victor in this week's Whiteout Weekly. As congratulations, Test are the winners of the weekly, and it's just what a phenomenal way to do it as well. Almost a great comeback from Mimic, but Test holds strong at the very end, and they're able to secure it in almost as many rounds as you could have in regulation.
That was so close. I mean, 1 player alive at the end. Could not have asked for it any closer. I know we got a posture check near the start of that game, so happy your posture feeling good. You ready? Okay, good. Just making sure, because I know we are at the end of the game, but still got to make sure our caster posture is looking good. I got to say, though, the posture from Best Buy and Germ, what a game from them. I mean, popping off, like you said, does not happen often that we see Mimic lose, but it was close. All 3 maps go in the distance.
Every single map was about as close as you could have asked for. Just a great grand final overall. Very much deserving the title grand final. I just realized that when you show the graphic with test on it, it looks like it is literally like we're testing that graphic and we're like testing it out like before we ran the stream. Like it's like if somebody named their team like sample text or something.
There we go.
But anyway,
don't give them any ideas. Whoa.
That would actually be really funny. Someone do that. But anyways, test have won, and well, I think it's time for us to say goodnight, isn't it, Llama?
Yeah, I think unfortunately it is that time. Before we do, I guess let's show us some love. We have our Twitters down below if you guys want to throw us a follow over there, throw us some love, as well as the big man behind the scenes, Mr. Nick NCS, pressing all the buttons, making sure everything is as clean as possible. He does production, he does graphics, he does everything. So go hire him, hire us, and make sure to follow those Twitters. Appreciate you all. Happy. What else you got to say?
Nothing much more. I think we are very good to go as 12:46 a.m. Eastern time, and whatever that is in your local time. I don't want to do the transitions for you. You can do that on your own. We will call it for the evening. Thank you so much for tuning in for another week of Valorant action. Be sure to be back on Monday for Rocket League and on Thursday for more Valorant, as there's always some action going on Frost Esports RL. But for tonight, we will say good night, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great day tomorrow.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, it's cold and losing my control. The light is gone, the night has come, it's crazy now. Control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation.